A very good afternoon and welcome to Charlton TV in association with NordVPN for this afternoon's clash between Charlton and Swansea. It's a lovely day actually in SE7, and while Terry Smith will bring you the action to begin with, he's off interviewing Mickey Bennett at the moment. I'm delighted to have for the first half an hour or so, and then throughout with Tel and I, is Mr. Steve Brown. Brownie, great to have you alongside me, mate. What have you done with your, I was going to say week off, but you're now a working man with the club.
Yeah, I've gone from playing golf quite a lot to putting the clubs away. Yeah, no, busy, always busy. But yeah, it's been a week. Unfortunately for me, my wife lost a family member this week, so it's been looking after her and making sure she's okay. And today's given me the opportunity to get out of the house actually for the first time this week. So don't want to start on a dampening bit of news, but that's what my week has been. And you know what I'm like, I don't hide anything or brush anything under the carpet.
No.
So it's been a tough week. Mrs. Brown's needed looking after, so we've done that this week.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend,
That's
and
right.
condolences to your family. On to today, I think one of the things that I spoke to a couple of people about in the week is coming into this game, there's a lot of confidence, but I mean, we've got to remember that we're playing good teams still.
Yeah.
And that maybe that's a compliment to the work we have been doing, that we see today's game as one that we can win.
Yeah, I think it's... I was doing the research for this over the last 24, 48 hours, and you sit there and you look at their statistics and you think, right, this is as Curbs often says, the Championship is littered with ex-Premier League clubs. This is another one that's, adjusting to life in the Championship. Looks like it's stabilised in the Championship. And although they're mid-table-ish, they are a tough nut to crack. They don't score too many, but don't concede too many, and every game's sort of within a goal. So, you look at these and you see, and the point I'm making is it's how far we've come in the last 12 months. We're now looking at Swansea City as a home win, just purely based off the back of our form here at the Valley over the last 12, 15 months. And it has continued in the Championship, where I think a lot of people probably predicted the home form would suffer a little bit. It hasn't, and even the one loss we've had should have been a win. So, it's a compliment, I think, to Charlton as a squad and the management staff and team that we do look at these as a very winnable game. But, every game has to be treated with the utmost respect, and you always have to earn the right to win every game. And this one will be no different. They're no mug Swansea, but you're absolutely right, Greg. These are games that we're now looking at as very winnable.
Well, we spoke to Nathan Jones earlier in the week, or Charlton TV, and in particular Terry Smith spoke to Nathan Jones in the week to hear what he had to say ahead of today's clash.
Nathan, it's been an excellent week, a very good month, and up to now an impressive 12-game start to the league this season. Obviously, it's still early, but where are we in terms of where you wanted us to be, or where you planned for us to be?
I look, we didn't set any punch targets this early. What we wanted to do was really go at the league and be really competitive early. Now, we know it's a 46-game season, so whether you start well, whatever it is, you just have to make sure that you are in every game, that you are improving week in, week out, and we feel that we are. We had a good window. We got the people we did. We think we've had probably a fair start. Could we have picked up a few more points? Yeah, I think we should have. But that's what happens over a season. You get points where you quite don't deserve them. You don't get points when you probably deserve them. But I think it all evens itself out. So we're in a decent position. We feel a realistic position, and one that we're enjoying.
And based on what you just said, I know it's not necessarily relevant, but I was looking at the start we made the last time we were in the Championship, and we had an equally excellent start. But then went on a 11-game run without we didn't win at all. Do you look back at things like that, and does that act as a sort of warning sign, if you like, for the players to say you can't step off what we're doing at the moment?
Look, I didn't know anything about that. I wasn't here, so I remember being here. I remember losing my Stoke side, losing here in the second game of the season, I think it was. So we don't look at that. What we look at is game in, game out. So taking it so we look at Saturday, and that's no further than that. We don't look like, we're going to go 11 games without a win. No. Do we think we're that? No, I don't think this team does do that. We haven't done that before, and historically that's not in our DNA. So So, you know, in God's will, we keep it at the levels we've been at and keep picking up the points as we are.
You've been asked before about the strikers and the goal tallies, etc., etc. And we know individually that our strikers have got goals in them. Yes, we're missing Madigan, and yes, we're up a level. But when it comes to strikers and goals, do you do it individually, or is it important to? Because I know you've tried different partnerships up front. Is it about setting a partnership rather than just individual goals?
No, I think we've had pretty settled partnerships. It's just we demand from them. You know, they're not just strikers to stand in the 18-yard box and to tap the ball in the net. We ask loads of stuff around them. Are they getting chances? Yeah, they get chances game in, game out. All of them. You know. See Tyrese got chances the other day in terms of that. Then when we came on, our strikers get chances. But for us, it's about. It doesn't matter who scores, but we expect the level of performance in and out of possession from each player, and then whoever scores, whoever gets the opportunity from what we do and from our structure, then we don't care. I would like to have 4 of the top strikers in the division all top scorers. It means that they're all scoring. But look, as long as we score one more than the opposition in games, that's all I'm really concerned about.
It's been a tough week in terms of games and travel, and we've got another 3-game week coming up. How's the squad heading into the coming week? And fans will want to know, of course, about the progress of Matty Godden as well. Yeah,
Matty Godden's a lot closer. We are looking at him. You know, he's now far more mobile, doing the things we want him to do. He's had 2 weeks now of fitness work in terms of stuff, so he is a lot closer, which is really good. That'll give us another option, another headache, so we're looking forward to that. Josh is the only one then that's a little way off.
Mm-hmm. Swansea at the Valley on Saturday. They've been they are an established Championship side, have been for the past 7 seasons, and in the Premier League for the 7 seasons before that, I think it was. They've had a fairly sort of even start, 4-4-4. Don't score many, don't concede many, so obviously you're expecting a tough game, and you're up against somebody you know very well as a player and a coach.
Yeah, look, in terms of Swansea, they've been around a long time, you know, as you said, at this level and higher, so they're going to be tough opposition, but it's another tough game. It's the Championship. As for Alan Sheeran, the manager, look, he was an excellent captain for me. He was a coach for me. He was set play coach for me. So he's someone I know very, very well, and I think, you know, it's a tough league to have your first job in management, and I think he's done excellent.
Thanks, sir. Good luck.
So there we go. There was the gaffer talking to Charlton TV early in the week ahead of today's clash, and it's an interesting one really when you think about today for Nathan. Obviously he's a Cardiff City fan, from Cardiff born, has had a little history of Swansea in terms of fixtures he's been as a manager. He got a win there for Luton and celebrated with the fans and near the stands, and got a lot of attention off the back of that. And now he's a former assistant, and first ever signing when he was at Luton. Alan Sheehan's now their manager. So yeah. I think there's no more motivation needed for Nathan Jones for today's game.
Yeah, I don't get the feeling Nathan needs motivating ever. No, there are some people that it does get under their skin, or things affect them and they want to do well against former clubs, or, you know, I mean, we've got Southampton coming to town, and I do think that probably would be one that Nathan does want to get the better of because of, you know, how that was and how it ended. But I get the feeling with this one, it's just a game. Of course he wants to win because it's in his nature. He is a very driven individual, and at the heart of that is winning football matches, because, you know, that's the most important thing as a football manager. And there may be a little edge on this one, but I don't think it's, you know, going to get under his skin as such in the build-up. It's not going to let him affect his way of thinking in the dressing room and in his build-up towards this. I think it's just another Championship game. We're at home and he'll want to win it. And the tactics are the tactics. He'll sit down with his staff. He'll work out what Swansea do well, what they don't do so well, and he'll attack it and approach it as he normally does for any other game. It's just all that much sweeter, I think, at the end when you've got your 3 points and you can have a little smile in your manager's office and a shake of the hands all round and a pat on the back.
Must be a bit strange as well for Swansea approaching this game after playing Manchester City on Wednesday. It's quite a quick turnaround to play a team of that standard, where you're probably doing a lot of chasing, a lot of off-the-ball work, got to then travel. I imagine they probably travelled yesterday, so Thursday was pretty much a recovery, and then yesterday wouldn't have been much of a training session. So that would be probably a little bit outsourced, and they've made changes for today's game, probably in reflection of the amount of games they've been playing recently.
Yeah, and again, you know, you often see managers get caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, don't they, in terms of cup games? Because you if it wasn't Man City, you know, if it was somebody that they thought they could progress against, you think they might have gone for it a little bit more. As it was Man City, you know, your bread and butter is the league. So if they rested players and played Man City and gone out, knowing that there's a high percentage chance of them going out, resting players for today. But yeah, it's a consequence of obviously getting through in these competitions, and you can see why a lot of managers do make multiple changes when these cup competitions come around, because everything is based around your league form and your league position. And yeah, like you said, if you're looking at preparation for this game, it's far from ideal, Greg. You know, you've got Thursday you'll be in, and you will be just in recovery mode. You might even have a very, very light session of some sorts, but nothing too taxing. And then you travel. They would have absolutely travelled yesterday, and it'd be interesting to see if they trained first and travelled and then trained to get the journey out of their system. You know, every manager's different in that respect, and every squad is different. Some would have wanted to get the journey out of the way and then release the legs and get the legs going in the afternoon. Some would have trained first and then had a coach journey. You know, but it's been a tough week for them, and they're missing one or two players as well. So, you know, this is going to be a tough old game, I think, for them.
Yeah, certainly so. And I think as well with Swansea this season, Alan Sheehan maybe a surprise appointment in terms of his first ever role. He had a caretaker spell there last season, but it's a side that in the last decade, just over a decade, had Premier League success, had Carabao Cup success, winning the League Cup. So they probably have ambitions to get back to the Premier League. So it's a tough first job to kind of come into. Whereas on the flip side, Nathan's got a lot of experience. It's interesting to see how they match up from a managerial point of view today as well.
Yeah, and I think if you talk about Swansea, I think they've settled at the Championship. You know, I think it's going to be very difficult for them to get a squad in place that's going to challenge certainly in the next 12, 24 months. So I think there's a bit more of a longer term project, whereas we've got that momentum bounce that you sometimes see. We've seen it with Ipswich recently, we've seen it with Sheffield United come out of League One and get out of the Championship relatively quickly, because you've got that momentum, that winning habit, that feel-good buzz around the building. Swansea haven't got that. You know, I think they're a club that had some, you know, a bit like us, you know, in the early 2000s, where you have that 5, 6, 7, 8 years in the Premiership and everyone gets used to it, and then when you lose that status, it unpicks very, very quickly. And as we've seen here at Charlton, it can take an awful amount of time to get it back. They haven't had the added disaster of going down to League One, but they've stabilised in the Championship. But let me tell you, when you stabilise and people pick off your best players, it's a long road back to suddenly becoming a team challenging at the top of the Championship again. So yeah, look, you know, they're a good club. They had a very, very good period in recent history.
Arnel, you joined us at the end of September. You became the first Cuban player to ever play for Charlton when you came on against Hull. How have you settled in after almost, 5 weeks plus the time you were training here in South East London?
Yeah, so firstly, I'm obviously grateful for that opportunity that I got. Obviously also proud to be the first Cuban at the club. And I'm settled in. The players, I had a good welcome with the players, with the surrounding, everyone here, so I'm happy.
Good. You joined a side that was in good form in September, so you've had to be patient to get your opportunity. Was that something you expected and was explained to you when Nathan Jones persuaded you to come to Charlton?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we know how passionate Nathan Jones is, so I knew what would come, and the team, played really good football and they done very well. So, I'm not a player that comes in and expects straight away to play. You have to earn it, and I felt like the starting 11 earned every right to play every game, and they did well, to be honest. And
So how did you find your taste coming on against Hull? Was there quite a bit of emotion, quite a bit of anxiety to make sure you did well?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, it didn't play for a while now, and so coming in, it's obviously in that situation where you're also like 1-0 down. It's a bit difficult sometimes as a player, especially when you come into the game. But yeah, I think the players did well, and obviously I got a bit of experience. I know it's one of those situations, and yeah, at the end we got a point.
I mentioned you were the first Cuban to play for Charlton, but you've achieved quite a few firsts. First Cuban to play in the Premier League, first Cuban to score in the Premier League. Does that resonate? Does that have or is there an awareness in Cuba when you go back there that you've achieved that, and another Cuban player is now playing in Europe?
Yeah, 100%. Like everyone in Cuba just knows about me, and it's very nice, to represent a country that got a lot of potential as well. Like there's a lot of young, talented footballers that probably maybe one day, hopefully, could play in Europe. We are still trying to get everyone over here, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of proud people there.
You grew up and started your footballing career in Germany, but born in Cuba, for whom you've got now 15 caps, I think it is, and 4 goals. 15, I think I've read. At the young age of 32, do you still target more caps for your country?
Yeah, obviously it's obviously difficult, because I wish we would have more players playing in Europe, because most of the players play probably in Costa Rica and all of those countries, Guatemala. But as long as I'm fit and I can represent Cuba, I will obviously try.
I read a great story about your debut, your international debut, in March 21 against Guatemala. An eventful trip. Can you explain it?
It was a crazy trip, to be honest. Like, obviously, there was a volcano going on, and traveled already 8 hours, I think, from the UK to Guatemala. And then the airplanes didn't work because of the volcano. And then I had to go a different road through Mexico with a little plane that was really scared. Like, honestly, this was something that I never did. I filmed it all, and I was thinking as well, I sent to everyone, my friends and family, a message that I don't know if I will survive that. I landed then because I was flying past the volcano. I saw it on the window, and I think, oh my God. And then we landed in Mexico, in Guatemala then, and like I got first year control with police dogs and everything, and then after that we rushed through the streets, like to the game, came with you to the game, then to the second half. But it was like an adventure, honestly, something that I never experienced before.
And you got changed in the car on the way to the game, right?
Exactly. I was changing myself, and I didn't have the seatbelt on. I was thinking every minute a car comes and crashes, because like it was middle on the road and police around. It was something like that I never experienced.
Travelling to Sparrows Lane must be fairly boring by comparison, I suspect. You've signed a short-term contract here until January. Do you have any specific targets in that period for yourself and what you want to achieve?
Yeah, obviously I want to help the team as much as I can, bring my experience into it. I know we have here a lot of young talented footballers, and obviously, yeah, if I get opportunity to just use that.
Well, hopefully you enjoy your time here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you go, a little bit premature, but Arnel Hernandez speaking to Charlton TV during the week, and apologise if we dropped out for a second, and I know a lot of people get a lot of deja vu after the situation we had last week. This one was a different situation, and luckily the provider was able to restart very quickly, and we're live, and Good to have you back. Brownie, Ono Hernandez is a player we saw very, very, very briefly at Hull, but someone who could probably this season make a bit of a difference. It goes to say for quite a lot of other players as well.
Yeah, I think he came on very briefly and in that right wing-back slot. You know, he comes with a vast amount of experience, you know, and whatever the issues were up at Norwich, you know, Nathan's not afraid to take somebody that hasn't played games or isn't in the mix at the club he's at, and it just strengthens the squad. You know, you have to trust what Nathan's doing, you know, considering all the players that have come in that you've gone, oh, I'm not sure about that one, and they hit the ground running, and Hernandez will play a part. You know, and like I said, he comes. It's not like you're asking a lone player or a 21-year-old kid who's out of a Premier League club to come in. You've got somebody who's got vast experience in the Championship and therefore knows exactly what it's about when you're away at Hull and what you need to do when you enter the field of play. So, yeah, it's another signing that, you know, gives the player an opportunity as well to prove his worth till January, and then see if he can extend that till the end of the season.
Well, cheers, Brownie, and thanks to Greg as we prepare for kick-off here at the Valley. Another 20,000 plus crowd. Forgive me, I've just come up from the lounge where I've been interviewing a certain Mickey Bennett. Dr. Mickey Bennett. I had a, you know, last week, the last time at home game, I had the thrill of speaking to Kinsella, and that was in itself amazing. People don't quite grasp just how important Mickey Bennett was to people like myself, fans like myself who went to Selhurst Park week in, week out.
Part of the promotion-winning team, wasn't it?
Yes, but it wasn't just that. He was part of. When you got players coming through at Charlton, it's our identity.
Yeah.
And so when Mickey Bennett did, but it wasn't at the Valley, he was part of that identity that kept us going. And that's why people like Mickey are important to fans, I think, and absolutely enjoyed it. Thank you, Brownie, for that opportunity. It was a complete thrill, and he was good value as always, Mickey Bennett. Now, look, you've seen the news and the impact of Hurricane Melissa this week in the Caribbean, and you can see a picture of Karoy Anderson, Amari Bell, Therese Campbell, Harvey Nibbs, Miles Lieben, who have all, along with Keane Dixon, donated to support the relief efforts. And discussions of players supporting the cause ending with, if you would like to donate, visit supportjamaica.gov.jm. And our thoughts obviously with everybody who suffered during that terrible Hurricane Melissa in the week, especially in Jamaica, but all around the Caribbean, of course. And yeah, if you do want to donate, then visit supportjamaica.gov.jm. Now, just looking back to last week, there was some audio issues, as I'm sure Greg's alluded to. We apologise for, and many of you will have been contacted by now to apologise by the club offering a refund. If you haven't been contacted yet, it's worth checking your junk mail, or you can email charltontv@streamamg.com. That's charltontv@streamamg.com. Well, the two sides are out. I'll get to talk to you in a second, Brownie, again. And as they come across towards the halfway line, I'll read you out the two sides, of course, starting with our visitors today, Swansea City. And they come within goal, number 1, Lawrence Vigouroux. 2, Josh Key. 5, the captain, Ben Cabango. 10, Jisung Yeom. 14, Josh Tyman. 15, Cameron Burgess. 17, Gonzalo Franco. 26, Keelan Casey. 30, Ethan Galbraith. 33, Adam Eder. And 35, Ronald. Substitutes for Swansea: Andy Fisher, Jay Fulton, Melka Vidal, Ishe Samuel Smith, Liam Cullen, Manuel Benson, Ricardo Santos, Bobby Wales and Zidane Inusa. The Charlton side will line up with in goal, number 1, Thomas Kaminski. 3, Macaulay Gillespie. 5, Lloyd Jones. 6, Conor Coventry. 7, Therese Campbell. 10, the skipper, Greg Docherty. 14, Sonny Carey. 17, Amari Bell. 23, Charlie Kelman. 28, James Bree. And 32, Reece Burke. Your subs for Charlton: Will Mannion, Kane Ramsey, Luke Berry, Miles Lieben, Tanto Alefe, Joe Rankin Costello, Onel Hernandez, Rob Apter and Harvey Nibbs. Your referee for this afternoon is David Webb, who's going to be assisted by Callum Goff and Lee Venamore. And your fourth official is George Laughlin. And Brownie, a few changes to the starting lineup. Understandable?
Yeah, I think he's put himself in a position where he can make the changes he wants to make. I totally understood the changes last Saturday, considering the fixture list we had, and he's reverted back to the side that won handsomely, or most of the side that won handsomely here against Blackburn. So yeah, look, I think he's in a very healthy position with the squad. and I think he can pretty much change at will at the moment, and everybody within that squad is relatively happy to come in when they're asked and to step out when they're asked, and there's not too many complaints at the moment because of the start to the season we've had. What he has done is given this team an opportunity to stake a claim to keep the shirt moving forward, and we'll see how they perform.
And most importantly, it's another 3-game week. We've got West Brom on Tuesday, and then we go to Wrexham on Saturday. So, like previous weeks, we may not have the journeys that we've had in previous weeks.
That's a big difference.
But it's still 3 physical games that you need to use your squad.
Absolutely, and I think if you look at the opposition today, Greg was alluding to the fact that they've had that 3-game week this week, and they've had a tough one on Wednesday night, and then they had to travel here. So their preparation for this game has been poor, and not through their own choice, but because of the way the fixture list has come about. So they've had a tough week. We've had a week where we can prepare, but we have got another tough week coming up, as you said. But it always helps when you're at home. You know, when you go home this evening, you might have to come in tomorrow, but it's all local. You know, you're not thinking about a 6-7 hour journey on Monday.
Well, Charlton lining up to our left-hand side. Captains are in the middle. Just obviously Charlton in traditional red shirts, white shorts, red and white socks. Swansea are in a sort of light blue kit with dark blue hoops on the socks. And is that an orange stripe down the middle and the back? I think it's orange, isn't it? I haven't got my Pantone chart, so I can't tell exactly, but it looks orange to me. So that's the Swansea away kit, and it looks like Swansea will get us underway here at the Valley with Charlton attacking the Jimmy Seed stand. A fair few Swansea fans have made the journey eastward to South London, and it's another bumper crowd here at the Valley, so hoping for a cracking atmosphere.
Skyman Championship. It's the Alex against the Swans. Let's hear every single one of you. Come on, you Reds! Come on, you Reds!
It will be Swansea to get us underway. David Webb, the official, is checking at both ends, and we are underway here at the Valley. Swansea going backwards to then attack down the right-hand side. Ball though from Burgess, I think it was, sawed out of play on the Charlton left-hand side in front of the Curbishley stand. It'll be a quick throw into the Addicks. We have new advertising hoardings. I don't know if you've noticed, Brownie.
I have. I got shown them by Gavin Carter before kick-off. He was very, very proud of them.
And quite rightly so.
Yeah, they are smart.
Stunning addition.
Yes, very, very smart, and just, again, shows where the club's at the moment. Improvements at the Valley, improvements on the pitch. It's on an upward curve.
Well, Swansea got the ball back and worked it back towards their keeper. Ball forward has just caught Charlton out momentarily, and going through the middle is Eom. And he went down under a challenge from Gillespie, who looked at him and, well, I'm not going to try and interpret what he said to him. Referee waved it away, so the inference is that Eom dived to try and win a free kick, but Charlton caught out momentarily.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that was left, the initial flight of the ball. It's a long ball forward and there's a duck. I think it's from Burke, which then catches out Jones, and it's tough to see if that's ball first or not. But I don't understand the duck from Burke. Maybe there's a call from Jones. He thought he was then going to win it. It bounced in between the pair, and Gillespie covers around and makes a challenge. Looks like he gets the ball.
It was a superb challenge, looking at the replay, and could have gone horribly wrong if he'd have mistimed that. Fortunately for Charlton, he got it bang on, and it's the Addicks in possession with Doherty. Sends it forward, asking Kelman to chase it. Cleared away by Burgess towards Burke, who heads it back towards the halfway line. Doherty with a flick on, looking for Bree, who gets ahead to it as well, but he can't find Kelman with that header, and Swansea will look to clear, and they go down the line. But that ball from Timon goes out of play for a Charlton throw. A frantic start to this.
Yeah, it looks like there was just a poor bit of communication, because every centre-half who's worth their salt will deal with the first ball, and Burke ducks, and Jones is having a chat with Nathan Jones now, and his arms are stretched. Who knows whether he called or not, but deal with it if you can. That's the rule of thumb. If you can deal with a header, make sure you do.
Timon again called into action as Charlton throw it down the line, puts it out of play again for a Charlton throw. That goes into Coventry, goes backwards to Gillespie, who sends it forward. Bree gets there first, heads it across the pitch. Doherty calls it, claims it, and heads it towards Campbell. Headed away from him though by Casey, and Swansea clear it away. Gillespie again the first to react, heads it clear, but Swansea will pick it up on halfway on the right hand side. Bell just caught out momentarily. Campbell trying to cover, but Swansea still going down the right, and that's good work from Campbell. Just levers his man out of the way and comes away with the football. Inside to Bell, who gives the ball away. Trying to find Campbell, and Swansea have it back. It's with Franco. Ball out to the right. Inside is key, but it's a good recovery challenge from Bell. Swansea have a throw. Goes backwards. Galbraith. The Charlton fans will know well the encounters against Orient last season. Out here to Burgess. Infield to Eom. Galbraith once more. Ball cut inside. Just manages to just about find Eder. And he's back in possession, Eder, with a snapshot which doesn't cause Kaminski any problems at all. We've had the opening 3.5 minutes, goalless here, but it's been quite an eventful opening 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, I think the one thing we know is they're going to keep possession well. Swansea, they've gone with a back three, which I don't think's been the case in recent weeks. I think they've been in back four, so they've changed their formation to counter what Charlton do, and they've started very well in terms of keeping the ball. Possession is something they do very, very well, and at the moment Charlton can't keep hold of the ball. And
they press whilst out of possession, which has caused us a few problems in the opening minutes, and Swansea are back in possession with Galbraith on halfway. Across to Burgess on his left-hand side. It's going to go back inside. Casey goes right to Cabango. Now Key goes forward to Eder. Pursued by Jones, and pursued well by Jones. Gets his foot to the ball, stops Eder going forward, but it will be a throw to Swansea just inside the Charlton half on their right-hand side. Key throws it backwards to Cabango. All the way across to Burgess. Under pressure from Kelman. That's good. Oh, and this time the pressure from Coventry, just a little too forceful. Jusung Eom goes down. Free kick to Swansea halfway inside their own half. They've had a very even start, Swansea, to their championship life, which sort of explains the last 7 seasons as well for them. They're a very stable championship club over the last 7 seasons, having spent 7 in the Premier League before that. And of course Nathan Jones up against a manager who he knows very, very well indeed, having signed him as a player and a coach. So it comes with its own complications, perhaps, as Swansea send the ball forward. Jones and Gillespie going for that, and Gillespie as the player who then sends it forward. Asking Campbell to pursue it, and Campbell's into the penalty area. Therese Campbell trying to get it under control. Back to Carey, who takes a shot. Kelman with the touch. Wasn't expecting it. It hit him rather than him attacking it, and ends up in the keeper's arms. Vigouroux.
Yeah, good turnover. Campbell does well. Good strength to then get his body in between defender and ball. The set's good. The shot's crabbed off the inside of the left boot. Finds its way to Kelman, but it's hip height. Needed to be foot height for him to get the shot away. And he just sort of manoeuvres it forward, and it's an easy take. But positive moment for Charlton.
Swansea then trying to come forward, but it's intercepted again by Gillespie, who's been quite prominent in the opening minutes. And back to Kaminski, who sends the ball forward. Kelman on a run into the area. Trying to cut it across, but the covering defender, Burgess, got enough on it to allow Vigouroux to step out and challenge.
Yeah, just skidded away from him. At a vital moment, it just took a little bounce off the surface that went away from Kelman, which meant he was stretching for it. Just needed that to check up ever so slightly to get the full volley away. Well,
Doherty rather, gets to the ball and then couldn't control it, and it's allowed Swansea to take possession back, but the ball from Eom looking for Eder is well, just a tad too long, straight through to Kaminski. Charlton have it back. Ball out to Burke, who's got Jones inside of him. Back out to Reece Burke on the right. Burke looks forward, again asking Kelman to run the channel. Burgess across, heads it out. It'll be a Charlton throw. Halfway inside the Swansea half. I do have a complaint when you're speaking to our Lord and Master a bit later on. Go on. So, well, since they put the advertising hoardings in front of us,
I know.
We can't see the touchline.
I know. He hasn't thought about us at all there, has he?
Not at all. Outrageous.
He has cut off a good 5-6 yards of this near side of the pitch, hasn't he?
Just a bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a word with him later.
Charlton work it back. I'm sure he won't lose any sleep. If I'm
I don't think he'll care. Yeah.
But, couldn't do anything with it. Swansea have it back, but the ball across is straight to Bree. He's under pressure, Bree, from Timon, but he does well to work it back to Kaminski. that ball out. Will Campbell be offside? Yes, is the answer to that.
Yeah.
I think it was not the straightest line that Swansea had, and so there was some doubt, I think, over whether that was offside or not, but the assistant over here does put his flag up.
Yeah, it's criminal that he is, because that ball spent a long time with Bree, it spent a long time going back to Kaminski, and there was more than enough time for Tyrese Campbell to drop back goal side, and if he had done, the ball would have turned into a very good pass, and Campbell would have been on the front foot. So, you know, get the job done first, just in case that scenario unfolds. Get on side and wait.
The clearance from Vigouroux goes straight out of play, so Charlton have the throw. Coventry from that throw sends it infield. Doherty with a good header up to Kelman, back to Carey. Carey looking to shoot potentially. There's a ball to the outside, and Bell left side of the penalty area, lifts the ball back across, drops to Bree, leave it in by Carey but cleared away, and then Kelman trying to get on the end of a Bree nod across the box. Can't get there, it's headed clear, but for a Charlton corner.
Yeah, very good. The pendulum has swung in the last 3 or 4 minutes in favour of Charlton. They've had a couple of promising moments in the final third. All just aerially bobbing around for a bit, didn't settle, and we just needed that ball to settle down a little bit to get our shot away. But certainly on the front foot, Carey pivotal in that last attack.
Corner from the Charlton right-hand side. It's a deep one. Gillespie and Jones are there, but they can't get a decent purchase. Burke was there as well, and it's cleared away by Swansea. Bell tidies up back to Kaminski. Halfway inside the Charlton half. We'll look to send it back forward, asking Bree to pursue it. Just back there is Eom, and he just got his foot to it before it can find Bree. And Swansea look to break. Ball forward, trying to pick out Ida. And Charlton looking quizzically across to the official.
I thought he was onside, but what I will say is that's a couple of times their movement patterns have pulled us out of position and left balls. There was one century that went through to Kaminski that was an opportunity if they'd played the right weighted pass. Same again there for Ida. He's got the whole channel to work in. They've exposed us down our right-hand side. They've not kept the ball in play. But they must, the movement when they're building up play is very, very good. It's just dragging one or two of our players out of the usual positions they take up.
Well, Charlton don't keep possession from the throw, and it's Franco for Swansea on the halfway line, out to the right-hand side. Key. It's a 1-2, and it's down that right-hand side with Ronald. Ronald, lovely sliding challenge from Gillespie, but he can't do anything other than concede the corner.
Yeah, good recovery in the end. What I would say is there was an opportunity there to perhaps get that ball in a little bit earlier, but the movement inside the penalty area wasn't good enough. They are missing their number one striker, Swansea, and he's their top scorer by some distance, and he's not in the
Vibotnik.
Yeah, and he's not in the 18 at all, so it must be an injury. But there was just a lack of movement ahead of the ball there, and which delayed the cross, which allowed Gillespie to recover.
That's a corner on the Swansea right-hand side. Swung in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Gillespie with the header away. Good deep header as well. Turns Swansea. They recycle it with Ronald in the centre circle. Looks to go left as Cabango's there and Burgess too, but it drops to the edge of the penalty area. A swipe shot from Franco ends up in a covered-in goal kick to Charlton. We've had coming up to 11.5 minutes, still goalless here.
Yeah, tough opportunity. 24 yards, ball bouncing towards him. Called it on the up. Ball was always rising, but yeah, it seems to me that there are half chances to be made here. You know, both sides have created one or two moments where they've had ball at feet and shots and opportunities have come their way.
Minsley's goal kicks headed clear and picked up by Bell. Back to Gillespie across to Jones, right side of the penalty area. He's got Burke further right if he needs him. And it's Burke on this right hand side. Ball forward to Carey. Carey just holding it up under pressure, and he just to create a bit of space for himself. And picks out Jones inside of him. Doherty comes short and swap passes with Lloyd Jones, who now looks for the run of Campbell, but it's a little behind Tyrese Campbell, who's trying to get back on key, but can't. And it's now with Cabango. Sends the ball forward. Again, Gillespie the first to get there. He does well in front of Ronald, who's claiming he was fouled, but he was just stronger. Coventry now back to Jones. Gillespie again. Really prominent in the opening 12 minutes has been the Charlton centre half. Inside to Coventry, is trying to send Campbell on his way. That may be too much on that. But he drifts out of play by the corner flag.
Yeah, but I like the attempt, and I like the run from Campbell off the shoulder. We haven't really extended their back line too much in these opening 12, 13 minutes. Like you say, Tel, just a little bit too strong, but the intention was right. Just trying to drop that back three down, or at least turn around to face their own goal.
Throw in. Originally 5 yards away from the corner flag, but it ended up about 15 as throw down the line. Headed clear by Gillespie. Galbraith picks it up for Swansea and then launches it forward. There's nobody in a blue shirt anywhere near that. Jones can fairly comfortably nod it back to Kaminski. And may well give it back to Charlton's number 5 very shortly. No, instead goes left to Gillespie. Doherty coming inside and short for it. Ball left a bit for him to do, but he manages to recover the situation, and it's back out with Gillespie again. Down the line to Bell. Under pressure from Key, goes back to Gillespie. Try to turn away from Ronald, and he's been caught in possession. Ball across, looking for Eom, and it's sort of squeezed between Eom and Jones, and manages to come out to the right-hand side. And Burke is judged to have touched that under pressure from Galbraith. Didn't see it myself because it's out of our eye line. But Burke wasn't happy, nor the fans in front of it. But Swansea do have the throw. Just gone backwards to Burgess. Inside now to Casey, across to the right and Cabango. Further right is Key. Cuts inside Bell. And it's back with Galbraith. Casey again. Cabango to his right, sends it forward, looking for Eder, but it sails over his head, just levered out of the way by Jones. Runs through to Kaminski. Swansea will look to push, but I think Kaminski is looking to avoid that by going long, and he does. Kelman and Bree are the targets. Kelman just can't quite get there ahead of Burgess, and it will drop to Galbraith. Goes back to Casey. Galbraith once more under pressure from Coventry. Finds Cabango. Brings it forward on the right-hand side. Still in Swansea half. Ball forward now, looking for Eder. Jones gets a foot in. And can Bree get there? He does. And we try to go long to look for Campbell, but it's cut out by Galbraith. And now Eom. Galbraith again in the centre circle. Franco to his right. Further right, Cabango. Franco's stayed in support. Swansea have it back in their own half. Ball forward, looking for Ronald, but it's well won by Gillespie, and then Doherty finds Campbell. Campbell inside to Carey. Carey avoiding 2 Swansea players, but he's going towards the touchline, keeps it in, finds Campbell. He can't control it, and Cabango will clear. Gillespie, though, picks it up for Charlton. Quarter of an hour gone. Goalless here at the Valley, but Charlton had a moment. Couldn't quite make the most of it, and now switching it to Burke, who's trying to send it forward to Kelman. It might be too much on that. Oh, but Burgess inexplicably got his foot to it when he could have probably just let it go out of play for a goal kick, and now Charlton have a throw deep on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I think it's a ball we've probably got to use a little bit more. We don't look at our fluid best at the moment. The game's quite stagnant in terms of Charlton build-up play. We seem to get the better of it when we go long and win the knockdowns, and it's just something not quite right. You know, we're used to energetic, high-tempo performances, and it doesn't seem to be quite where our usual levels are at the moment. But you know, we're not in any trouble or anything. I just think there is another gear to go into at some point if they can find it.
Bree has left the ball for Bell to launch it into the box, and he does so. Eon with the header away. Doherty with a less than subtle nudge on
yeah, to be honest,
Ronald.
If there's one player you can't do it on, it's him, because he will go to ground, he will pirouette, and he will make the most of any contact. He's already moaned about a couple of headers that have been won over the top of him. So I think if there's one player that will be able to win a free kick for Swansea, it'll be Ronald on that right-hand side.
Brazilian Ronald, you just get the feeling they forgot an O.
Or a McDonald.
Oh, it's Ronald, I beg your pardon. I've just been told it's Ronald, not Ronald. Still forgot an O.
I thought my McDonald one was quite funny.
Yeah, no, fair enough. No, that bypassed me because I was just trying to get the pronunciation right.
Listen, you can call him Ronald. You've got poetic licence, Tel. No, I know you can't. These days, everyone will have a fit over it, but
it's his name I respect.
On paper, it's Ronald. If you don't know it's got an accent to it.
Well, it's back. The ball is being battled for in that midfield area, and it's Swansea who currently have it with Franco. He's trying to send Key down the right-hand side, and he'll get there before Bell, and swings a crossing as well. Deep one that Burke's going to have to deal with. Gets something on it under pressure from Eom, and it'll be a Swansea throw. Out of nothing almost that. The ball was pinging around the midfield, nobody really getting hold of it, and then that long ball forward picked out the run of Key, and his cross caused Burke just a little bit of trouble, and they themselves now, Swansea, have a long throw potential into the box from their left-hand side. Can't see it, but it's probably just in front of the tunnel area. Still waiting. Now it's launched in. Well, Burke got his head to it, but it went backwards. Fortunately, Kaminski was alive to it and comes out and grabs it and looks to clear quickly. Kelman on the run. It's got a little too much on it, and it'll run all the way through to Vigouroux in the Swansea penalty area.
Yeah, I think it was covered off anyway. Certainly didn't seem to have the pace to get in behind, but it was a nice idea. Kelman dropped his shoulder, tried to extend the back line. Kaminski went through it, one bounce through to the keeper, but the game's not come to life yet. It's a pretty low-key game. What I would say is it's there to be grabbed by the scruff of the neck, and for either team really to take control.
Goal kick forwards, headed away by Gillespie. It'll be a throw in to Swansea, taken back to Cabango. Inside now to Casey, across to Burgess. He's got Timon further left, but he goes forward to Eom, trying to turn away from Burke. Bree back there helping out, and he's got his challenge off of Eom, and it'll be a Charlton throw. Did well there, James Bree. Charlton throw halfway inside the Addicks half on the right.
Couldn't see any of it.
I know you can't. No. We're going to have to set up some mirrors.
Honestly.
Burke with a throw, down the line it goes. Headed away by Timon, but only as far as Doherty launches it forward. Casey heads it clear. Bree trying to get there, Galbraith does, but straight to Burke, sends it down towards Kelman. Kelman trying to hold it up back to Bree, but Timon intercepts his clearance, so straight to Jones, who heads it forward, drops to Bell. They'll try to find Carey, but it's just a little bit too much on it. Galbraith can clear it. It's forward though, picked off by Gillespie, out to Burke. Trying to send it to Kelman, who may be offside here. Yeah,
he did look it.
He did look when the ball was played. He did look it.
Yeah,
it was well played by Burgess. He anticipated the ball that was coming. He just stepped forward a yard.
It's a nice little ball through, and it's a good line actually. You've got to give them a little bit of credit. The other two centre halves were two yards in front, and the last man just ducked in front at the last minute, and Kelman couldn't adjust. So it's a good. You have to give Swansea a bit of credit. But yeah, the game's not a particularly nice game to watch. And like I said, it is there to be taken control of, but neither side have got the quality at this moment in time to take control.
Vigouroux's clearance. Jones looked like he was fouled, but nothing given. Charlton clear it though. Burgess with the header back. Coventry can't get there. Eom flicks it on. Ronald trying to get there. Burke gets there first. Gets the ball off of Ronald, and it'll be I think it's a Charlton throw.
Yeah, it was a Charlton throw. But I think these games, sometimes games kick off like this and they're a bit scruffy and no one can get a strong foothold to start to take control, and possession's turned over easily. What you have to concentrate on, and what Charlton have become very, very good at in the last sort of 18 months, is not conceding in performances that aren't quite where you want them to be. And this is one of those, and it's important that in these stages you don't give away a goal.
Paul, that's a lovely touch from Campbell into the path of Kelman. He's on the right-hand side of the penalty area, being held up momentarily. Ball back inside to Coventry. Coventry out to Bree. Bree on the right-hand side uses Coventry again, who lifts the ball into the box. It's a good-looking ball, but Vigouroux can claim. And trying to go quickly out towards Ida. Down the Swansea right, but marshalled well by Jones, who just had a little complaint to the referee, who stopped the game to explain why he didn't give the foul, probably because he didn't think it was one.
Yeah, good link up down the right. That was a lovely little flick from Campbell into the feet and pass of Kelman, who drives down the line at reverse turns and keeps possession. The ball in was too close to Vigouroux. It was an easy take in the end, but yeah, that was a nice little link up between the front two. We haven't seen too much of that so far.
Gillespie's throw down the line, headed away by Cabango, and then Doherty with the header out of play, and with that I'll hand you over to Greg Stubley to lead commentate for the rest of this first half.
Yeah, thank you, Tel. 22 coming up to 23 minutes played here at the Valley. 0-0 scoreline. No real chances for either side. I'd say Charlton have had the best moment. Sonny Carey's scuffed effort hitting Kelman. Swansea have certainly played some good football, and here they are again, the away side. Ball forward towards Ida. Out to the right is Ronaldo. Ronaldo goes for goal towards the near post and hits the advertising boards into the side netting. He's been the lively spark on that right-hand side for Swansea.
Yeah, I mean, I quite like the look of Eom as well. He's the guy playing front left, but he drifts into a central midfield position off the striker, and it's whether Burke stays with him or Coventry drops off his shoulder and picks him up. So their movement patterns are okay. That was a good move, starting off by Galbraith. He's a decent player in midfield. If we give him time and space, he will play. Yeah, I mean, that shot was ambitious. It was from an angle. It was tight. It would have had to have been an incredible effort to beat Kaminsky, but that was a good move in terms of how they manufactured it off the back line and up for that shot in our penalty area. But the game, I think, has got another gear to go into. I'm not criticising either side here. I'm just saying, you know, for normal games we see in the Championship, there's a bit more tempo, there's a bit more energy, and it's a little bit flat from both sides. I just think maybe that's a circumstance, the amount of games they've played as a group in the last few weeks. But I certainly feel like there's a spark somewhere that could kick off another gear and another level for either side.
Yeah, we have seen that with Charlton matches this season as well, where first 20 minutes can be a bit cagey and then all of a sudden a goal.
Yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday was a little bit like that at times. Thrown for Swansea.
Blackburn was one. It was even Stevens for 20-25 minutes, and then we absolutely took control of the game, and the goal was the difference. When Gillespie came on and got his goal, we then absolutely dominated. But this one just seems a little flat in terms of energy, which, you know, it's a good thing that we notice that, because it means that, you know, Charlton do play at a tempo.
Carey turning his man, and then a combination of Galbraith and Franco brings Carey down. Charlton have free kick. Quite central. James Bree has come across, but let me say 35 yards out. 30 yards out for Bree.
Yeah, well, even I wouldn't expect a shot from this distance, but what you have got is a great opportunity for Bree to put it into a great zone. You know, we've got very good options aerially. Burke, Jones and Gillespie will all advance into the opposition penalty area, and this becomes about Bree's delivery. Pretty sure he'll put it into the right spot. It's where we can match it with a decent run or a block and a manoeuvre someone free.
Yeah, the fact it is so central probably benefits Swansea in this
yeah.
regard. As only a two-man wall. Charlton have Jones, Gillespie up from the back on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Ball goes left instead to Bell. Bell will go to the opposite side looking for Burke, but that's too close to Vigouroux, who comes to collect.
I don't know why they haven't done that the other way around. Bell, if you're going to do that, which move the angle, I totally agree. Get it out of centre to a wider area. And why don't we have Bree in the right-hand spot and Bell play to Bree and Bree deliver? But it was, listen, nice idea, moving the angle, you know, to create that little diagonal for somebody in the box. Far too close to Vigouroux. Easy, comfortable take again.
Caban goes long ball, goes straight to Amari Bell, and Charlton have it with Doherty out to Reece Burke. Takes it in his stride. Ball forward towards Kelman. Kelman looked for Bree, but Bree had stayed back. Swansea at the throw. Timon to take. Inside to Galbraith. Back to Burgess. Goes long and Burke with the challenge, because Galbraith was a target for Charlton in the summer. Decided to choose Swansea, who are after him pretty much from the start of last season. Had a very good start to life at Swansea as well. Throwing down the line, Ida controls, but Burke with the pressure, and then Bree the ball forward, deflects off that man Galbraith. Charlton will have the throw. Burke looking for movement. Carey comes short, but that option isn't there. Does use Carey, in fact, and back to Burke, who under pressure from Eon clears the ball out of play, and that kind of sums up the first 27 minutes here.
It doesn't it just. We've had a ball into Kelwood, he's popped it out to someone in the crowd, and Burke's put one off his ankle bone and up into the crowd again. It's not me being critical. The game is flat. It's you know, I do think this is a consequence of two teams that are flagging because of the recent fixtures that they've encountered and played. But you know, it's 0-0 and the game is there to be taken control of by one of these sides. You're hoping it's the home side.
Doherty with a great challenge as Jones goes down the line and has to be put out of play by Casey. And Charlton will have the throw, Breed to take. Asking for movement.
Yeah, there's two players moving at the moment. That's it.
Throws aside to Campbell, trying to go short for Coventry as the ball long. Jones with the header. Coventry gets a touch to it and also a bit of Galbraith's face. So
Yeah.
Swansea will have the free kick.
Yeah, look, I've said it already. It's important when the game's like this that you do not concede, that you stay solid, you stay in your shape, and you give yourself every opportunity by keeping a clean sheet to go nick this maybe a bit later on. Yes, bearing in mind Swansea have had a midweek game. They might feel the effects as we enter the latter stages of today. We might get a difference when someone comes off the bench. We've seen that many occasions where energy is injected off the bench in 60, 70 minutes.
It's about 8 headers in a row here as Coventry at the header.
It's an ugly game.
Galbraith
It is one of those ugly games.
trying to get the ball on the ground as Sonny Carey comes to the right-hand side. Back to Burke. Inside is Coventry. Out to the right is Carey again. He's got a bit of space to manoeuvre here. Sonny Carey. Wick ball in is a dangerous one. And there's a clearance from Casey. Goes behind for a Charlton corner, but that was a bit of quality.
Yeah.
There's been a little bit lacking so far in this game.
Yep, really positive. First touch, opened up the body down the line. It's whipped in behind the back line, just around the edge of the 6-yard box. We had good bodies in the box actually to receive. You have to give credit for a good clearance, but it's not taken a lot to wake us up at the moment.
Bree goes across to take. He whips it in, James Bree. Decent delivery. Jones and Burke were there. I think the latter got a slight touch to it as the ball stays in play and Swansea looks to go on the attack. A brilliant recovery challenge from Tyrese Campbell. And it's Charlton's turn to attack again as Campbell in the penalty area drills it across. So the challenge comes in from Cabango. But brilliant from Tyrese Campbell to win the ball back for Charlton and in turn win another corner.
Yeah, that's brilliant work. Be a super addition to his game if he can learn to track back like that on a regular basis when play breaks down and make challenges like that. It was brilliant from Campbell. He's won us a corner. Excellent second phase. I think I won't go as far as say it was an air header at the front post, but certainly there was an opportunity to get some contact on that near post cross, and we didn't do that.
Bree whips it in again, this time towards the far post. Gillespie with a header. There's a brilliant save from Vigouroux. Diving to his right, little tip over the bar. Charlton very close to the opener.
Yeah, and it was just a really lofted ball towards the back. I thought it was a miss-hit, but it finds Gillespie, and we're right behind that. He's done everything he can under pressure to get that ball under the crossbar and on target. It's an outstanding save from Vigouroux, the Swansea keeper, to keep Swansea in the game. Best chance.
Bree goes across to take again. Whips it in towards the near post this time. Jones gets something to it, but it goes wayward as Galbraith picks it up and just volleys it away. Bell with a header up in the air, but again another attempt to head it forward. It does so as header down by Casey. Doherty with the control under pressure, and Charlton can see possession, but Bree does superbly well to win the ball back for Charlton. Bree out to Doherty down the line, looking for Campbell. The challenge comes in from Franco, and then gets his body across, and Swansea will have the free kick. We saw 3 corners there from James Bree that caused issues.
Yeah, set piece is a big factor for Charlton this season. I think we've got ammunition in that area. We've got one of the best deliveries in the league, and we've got certainly in Gillespie and Jones 2 players that love to head it. We've seen Burke score in recent weeks, so we're certainly a big threat from set pieces, and it might be a set piece today that gets this game to liven up a little bit.
Vigouroux of the ball forward, Ida the target. Jones wins the header. Good battle between those two so far. Coventry gets a touch to the ball. Jones, a little ball looking for Kelman, is cut out well by Burgess. Inside towards Franco, skips the challenge of Carey, and then Doherty just collides into the Swansea man. And a word from the Swansea bench for that challenge, which Greg Doherty wasn't happy with. The referee wants a little chat with the Charlton captain.
Yeah, I'm sure he wants to chat, and I quite like what Doherty's done there to their staff member, because you know what, I can guarantee you there is absolutely nothing wrong with Franco whatsoever. I really don't like players that spin around and pirouette, and there was contact, but it's a free kick, no more. It doesn't need the theatricals, and it certainly doesn't need a staff member jumping up trying to get players booked. You know, it's a challenge that comes in, you know, a fraction late, but it's the spin and the grabbing of the ankles and then the flick in the air. You just don't need it.
Vigor of the ball forward. Jones won't get it this time, but does for Charlton. Is headed down by Kelman. Doherty with the ball forward. Casey heads it forward for Swansea. Coventry gets a touch to the ball. Burke first to it. Here's Carey, who seems to be drifting out to this right-hand side a little bit more for Charlton, trying to get into the game. So he goes back to Jones. The Addicts will restart with Kaminski. Ball forwards looking for Campbell. Galbraith gets the touch, but goes backwards and waywards as a few groans as Swansea pick up possession again. Galbraith back to Cabango. Casey under pressure from Carey. Ball out, it's a risky one. Key gets a touch to it, but Bell facing his own goal. Looks to go down the line, wins Charlton the throw instead.
Yeah, and that was the best outcome. And again, it's those moments where there's nothing on backwards. You don't put the ball at risk, and this is the kind of game we're looking at unfolding here. It's you know, don't get lulled into a mistake just because the game hasn't got the energy or the quality. You know, and it's vital you don't concede in these games. And what I will say is Swansea's threat in the first 15 minutes in terms of the way they were manoeuvring the ball and having one or two opportunities has sort of gone, and say that as a turnover.
Doherty trying to drive with the ball, but he was outnumbered, took a loose touch, and Galbraith wins it back. Ball in towards Eom, heads it down. Ronald picks it up out to the left-hand side as Timon crosses into the penalty area, but it's wayward and Charlton will have the goal kick. The Addicts did well to get bodies back after.
I swear blind, I tell you what, my eyesight's gone. I swear blind that took a deflection for a corner off of Bree. It's just a slice, isn't it? Honestly, more powerful glasses incoming, I think.
I think the best thing I've seen today was you trying to work your laptop.
Oh, I've given up. They give me a laptop that doesn't do anything. It literally doesn't do anything. Yeah, they've wiped everything off it. It's got restrictions left, right and centre. I'm fed up with it. Get me iPad. It's much easier to operate.
I think the restrictions are a good thing. But
well, no, don't. No.
That's Kaminski with the goal kick. It's headed away by Galbraith. Burke facing his own goal has a decision to make. Has to head it back towards Kaminski. It's a wayward header and Kaminski can't keep him in play. And Swansea will have the corner. Kaminski's gone down holding his groin, which is a concern.
Yeah, that is a concern, because I've got to be honest with you, that really shouldn't have resulted in him scrambling back towards his goal and sliding on the AstroTurf. I think he came a little bit too far off his line to receive that. Burke had to head it. The ball was up in the air. He had no option to let that drop, so he had to flick it back with his head. No, I see what he's done. He's tried to go wide of the goal, as you taught to do. You know, don't head it directly back, and it's just a bit wayward. But yeah, it's kind of how the game's being played out. It's like I say, just don't make unforced errors. Clean sheet's the most important thing when things aren't quite linking up or you're not playing your best football. Just don't concede, stay in it, and hopefully you'll find a groove.
Corner's taken short. Eom has time. Thinks about a shot here. Eom does go for it. It's a decent effort. Kaminski was always convinced it was going wide, but the lack of closing down caused a little bit of concern for Charlton.
And I think Galbraith's having a go at Eom for that, and I thought it was a brilliant ball. I think the complaint should come from players inside the box who haven't believed that ball was going to go sailing towards the far post. He can't put in a better cross than that, and yet Galbraith was having a word with him like he shouldn't have crossed it. I think we didn't shut down quick enough. You know, we've given a guy an opportunity there to pick his spot. That's a decent delivery. They've not made the most of that.
Do you think that was a shot, Brownie? Just watching him.
No, I don't. I think it's a cross. No, okay, that does look like a shot. It's one of those days. It's one of those days up, it's not great there and it's not great up here either.
I'm trying to be polite.
They've lulled me into being apathetic. Brilliant.
Jones with the long clearance. Oh dear, if Specsavers are listening, you might have a new customer.
No,
As Bree tries to
it's a
keep
cross
it in play.
shot. We'll give it that. It's a cross shot. It's directed towards the far post. It's in swinging, but it still needs a run from inside the box. The movement inside the box sums up the game, really. It's all a bit lethargic.
As Swansea have the throw, 38 minutes played, still 0-0. Best chance of the game. Saw Gillespie's header saved by Vigouroux. Apart from that, it's not been a lot else in truth, as Vigouroux switches over to the right-hand side and Key cuts inside Bell and looks long. It's an awkward ball for Gillespie or Jones to deal with. Jones comes through the pair of them with a diving header to clear it out of play, but Swansea get on with things. So throw is taken quickly. Ronaldo, nice little back heel in the path of Key. Key looks towards Ido, picks it up. Outright to Key again, who's got space, and Key will go for goal. And Swansea aren't afraid of shooting from range. None of them have hit the target as such. One was about 10 yards over the crossbar from Josh Key.
Yeah, I think the concern will be, if you're Nathan Jones, that in recent weeks we've been superb. If you think about the Ipswich game, no players really in their side had that much time and space to pick spots. We've just had Ian have acres of room and time to pick a spot. We've just had Key come up and far too much time, I think, to take control, get it out of his feet and get his shot away. And that's something that we've been brilliant at all season, is denying opposition's opportunities. It's just, I think we need to get out to the ball a little bit quicker than we are.
Burke with the ball forward. Burgess heads it away. Coventry the header forward. Carey gets to touch the ball. It's down to Bree, looks forward. And Charlton complained of a potential high foot. He said the Addicts will have the throw. Bree looks to take. He's asking
nothing on
for movement.
There's just nothing on at all.
Bree throws inside to Coventry. Forward to Carey, outright to Bree again. Bree takes on his man beyond him. The ball in the penalty area is headed away by Casey. Everything Charlton seem to do well comes through lots of Bree and Carey.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a little bit of movement off the man from Coventry. Throw-ins played in. It's round the corner to Carey, back to Bree. And again, it's not genius play. Bree takes a touch down the line. He's not pressurised either and is allowed to cross. It's both sides are guilty of allowing the opposition to do things without much pressure on the ball.
Throw's taken short to Coventry. Coventry whip ball in towards the far post. Gillespie at the header, back across goal. Awkwardly cleared, but enough by Franco. And as far as Bree, ball in the penalty area has gone high. Burke helps it on. Lloyd Jones tries the shot. Doherty tries his effort as well, but lacks the conviction, and easy for Vigouroux to come and collect.
Yeah, and Jones has gone down. He's taken, as he's gone to volley, he's caught the bottom of a boot, and Swansea are away. We're in trouble.
Bell's just pulled up, and that's allowed Ida to run through here. Adam Ida with an opportunity, closed down by Coventry. Still with it, Ida with the back heel, and Coventry does superbly well. The ball goes right to Burke, but to Bree, but Charlton are going to have to stop play, and there's a concern as Amari Bell's pulled up.
Bell down and Jones down. It's a double whammy, and the game could have just turned in a moment from that last set piece. Both players suffering. The treatment's gone to Bell, but Jones is gingerly limping back to the centre of that back line. He's not happy at all, but that was wonderful defensive strategy from Coventry, who got caught between two players, and in truth, Ida should have done a lot better than he did. I don't know why they didn't get an end product from that moment. It was a big let-off. He's cut inside on the right foot, wanting to get his shot away. It was blocked, and he's backheeled it straight to Coventry, and that is a huge let-off for the home side.
Brilliant from Coventry to stay on his feet, watch the ball all the way, but as you say, Brownie, Swansea should have really made most of that. And now
it's where they struggle. You know, obviously we spoke about Vipotnik not starting, and that's his league goals I'm talking about. He's had more in the cup as well, but 6 league goals and 1 assist, and Ronald whichever way you want to say it. I'm going to go with Terry's Ronald, if I'm honest with you.
We were told, say it like Ronaldo without the O.
Ronald.
So
Okay.
Ronald.
All right. Well, listen, he's got 3 and 1 assist, and obviously that's 75% of Swansea's goals. So it's an area they do struggle in, and when you take Vipotnik out of that, they've just got Ronald with 3 and 1, and then the next player beyond that's just 1. So it's an area they've not got to grips with. Scoring goals doesn't come easy for them, and there's an example as to why. They really should have got something away. That was the best moment of the game, bar none, in terms of creating a good opportunity, and they've not made the most of it.
Well, it's a blow for Charlton as Amari Bell has to make way with what you can presume is a hamstring injury of sorts. And given Charlton already missing Josh Edwards at the moment, who has been a miss in truth, despite Charlton doing well without him at the time being, but
Substitution for the Irish replacing number 17.
means that Charlton have got another player in that area
Number 2,
missing,
Kane Ramsey.
Kane Ramsey.
Look,
The man called upon.
Yeah, he was forced to play there up at Preston, and he did a great job. Thought he played particularly well, and it was just a shame that our former player scored the goal he did, because I thought he'd marshalled him in the 1v1 situations extremely well. But he's gone over into that left wing back spot. It's like for like.
As Charlton restart the ball forward, it's headed away. Ida looks towards Eom. Burke with the header forward. Galbraith to Eom again. Back it goes to Timon and inside to Franco, and Swansea out to the right hand side is Cabango. Cabango built down the line. Ronaldo's there. Gillespie comes across. Ronaldo's beyond him. Ball in the box. It's cleared away by Coventry. And that's the matchup that Swansea have liked so far, as Ronaldo in that forward area. It's Casey to the left to Burgess. Burgess ball forward is over the top of Burke, who's also gone down for Charlton, and now Eom's kept it in play. Eom with the ball across goal, and Gillespie clears it away, and now Charlton have got Reece Burke down, and this is a real blow for Charlton. Not only have we seen Amari Bell go down, but Reece Burke just went down.
Yeah, which we'll see Ramsey going back to right-sided centre-half, I would imagine, and either... Well, I think you've got Apter maybe as a left wing back, you've got Costello, you've got Hernandez.
Yeah.
You know, so you have got options, although it wouldn't be your first choice, there are options. But yeah, this is very concerning.
The fourth officials indicated that there will be
2 added minutes at the end of this first half. That'll be extended.
2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, there is no way you can go down like that as a player when the ball's being played into the channel and stay on the pitch. I would say that's a very concerning pull-up from Reece Burke. He's been in excellent form. He's played well for us.
In a week where Charlton have got 3 games as well. Not a lot of experienced cover. Like for like, if you want to use that phrase.
Yeah, well, Ramsey will come across to the right side centre-half, and that's, you know, he's been in excellent form. And I was just about to say, actually, before Burke went down, when you're in a team and you win a game or you draw a game away and you've done all right, you've had an excellent season the season before, and you come out the side, it's actually, when you come on in games, say, after 25 minutes, or in this case, 42 minutes, it's your mentality. You've got to switch on. You can't feel sorry for yourself. You've got to pick yourself up and know that if you put in a decent performance, there's a chance you might start the next game. So the mentality has to be very, very good.
Well, I'm told that Miles Leeburn's preparing to come on just in case. Maybe Tyrese Campbell, left wing back,
Yeah,
is the thinking.
yep. That's another option.
But they have to be careful with Reece Burke. He has had a lot of injury issues over the last couple of years. As Ferran comes in, is headed away, and Ronaldo with the effort, which goes wayward. And Burke's walking gingerly, but looks like he wants to try and continue to play. But
I honestly don't see how you can pull up like that and go down like that, and then it goes. You know, that's only speaking from experience. If you pull up like that in a game and you can't manage to get yourself back in to defend the ball, it normally means your hamstring's gone, or your calf, or something, your thigh, something muscular has gone.
Burke's heading back towards the tunnel. Charlton will make that change, or they might not even have time to. Might just go to half time. We'll wait and see as Bree on the right hand side. Ball down the line looking for Kelman's, cleared away by Burgess. Ramsey, ball out of play. Charlton also have to think about how many subs they can make. This will be the second, it'll be the second stoppage, which only allowed Charlton one more stoppage. So you wonder if they're just trying to get to half-time with 10 men, because no substitution is ready. As Cabango, ball down the line to Key. Down the line to Ronald, back to Key. Inside to Galbraith. Now Franco, Cabango on the right-hand side, down the line is Ronald. To take on Campbell. Back to Key. And Galbraith, whips ball in, it's a dangerous one that comes off Bree. Kaminsky can gather. And it kind of sums up what's been a frustrating first half for Charlton, who, in fairness, haven't conceded many chances to Swansea either.
No. Let's not beat around the bush. Both sides are performing well below what they're capable of doing. It's that kind of an afternoon. You know, it's going to be a mistake. Neither side have elevated themselves. I thought one of them can take control. Charlton have probably had the best header in terms of producing a save from the opposition keeper. But Swansea have had the best moment in that 2v1 that Coventry tied it up quite well. I thought they should have really got something away from there. But there's the half-time whistle.
There is a half-time whistle. Charlton 0, Swansea City 0 in a game with not a lot of chances. Charlton have had the best of it, of those chances in the first half. Macaulay Gillespie's header was well saved by Lawrence Vigouroux in the Swansea City goal. Ronald's had a couple of chances. There's been a couple of long-range efforts, but Swansea themselves haven't really caused too many issues. But the talking point at half-time will be 2 injuries to Charlton in that first half. Amari Bell and Reece Burke both going down off the ball, which will raise concern going forward. And you imagine another Charlton substitution will be in play at half-time. At half-time here, it is Charlton 0, Swansea 0, and while myself and Brownie will go for a break, we'll bring you a video, and that video is, it was red, white and black day at the Valley last time out. Let's have a look at proceedings, and following that, we've got our under-21s highlights from yesterday.
Since I was a child at the primary school that I now teach at, Charlton has always had a really big presence in our community.
It's a huge honour for all of us to be here right now. Thank you.
We feel very grateful that we were able to come here. It's a nice thing we were able to do as a community.
We're very lucky to have such a big football club so close to our school. They're always coming down offering, support or lectures or talks or just basically community integration, allowing us to be part of the club and the club to be part of our school community.
It's very important to represent what you stand for and always be a supporting part of the community.
in the EFL. home. Next week, pass and instead.
It's going to go short. Come on. The ball!
Ryder with the shot. Ryder with the equaliser. Busy box. Swinger. Cleared. Then the shot comes in. Benson to take the corner. The delivery comes in.
Well, welcome back to the Valley here at half-time on Charlton TV, sponsored by NordVPN, for second half between Charlton and Swansea. No, Tel was just accidentally calling my wife, who's currently working a night
first time.
So, yeah. I'm sure
What do you want again?
Yeah, I'm going to get abuse now.
Yeah.
Why have you woken me up? She's doing a night shift tonight, so hopefully that didn't. But welcome back to the Valley. I'm a little bit scared right now. As looks like Charlton are making that change at half-time. We already saw Amari Bell come off for Kane Ramsey early in the first half for injury, and Reece Burks had to make way, and Miles Leaburn comes on. So we suspect Leaburn up top with Kelman and Tyrese Campbell left wing back, Steve Brown.
Absolutely, yeah, that's the only option. Miles will accompany Kelman and will play probably a little bit more advanced, and Kelman will be the one that probably drops off a little bit now, and Campbell will drop into that wing back position. Dave Lockwood is doing his level best to drum up some enthusiasm. He really has gone for it, introducing the home side in the second half, and let's hope they match that enthusiasm.
Charlton kick off, shooting towards the covered end. Long ball up towards Leaburn, is headed away by Burgess, as Swansea are unchanged for this second half, as Ramsey the ball forward, headed away by Burgess again. Coventry first to it, ball forward looking for Kelman. It will find Kelman, a parent to Charlie Kelman! Gets his first Charlton goal! And what a start to the second half for Nathan Jones and his side. The ball over the top. Kelman just patiently waited it for it to drop and managed to fire it beyond Vigouroux to get his first Charlton goal. What a moment, Steve Brown.
Yeah, and it's a perfect start. I was just about, the next leading sentence was, there was a fantastic opportunity here for Charlton at home to take this game by the scruff neck and get the 3 points to elevate our league position. And it was just a ball fed down the line. It was allowed to bounce. It was a misjudgment from the Swansea defender, and Kelman on the angle still had a little bit of work to do. It is just a ball lofted over the top, like I say, misjudged, and Kelman just volleys it towards goal. I think Vigouroux gets a touch on this, but he can't save it, and it's just pushed into the roof of net, and Charlton lead, and I'm so pleased for Kelman. It's been a long time coming, but hopefully that's the one, the catalyst for many, many more.
Well, after the blow in the first, after double injury, Charlton needed a spark, and it came through Charlie Kelman, the former Leyton Orient man, and his first Charlton goal. He's had to wait for that, wait for a moment like that, wait for a chance like that.
I reckon it's Jonesy.
Yeah, we've got our former colleague who moved to Leyton Orient. He's in attendance this afternoon, and he'd enjoyed that. Charlton fan, of course.
It's a good finish. It's not an easy finish either. It's high, it's above hip height, it's on an angle, and all you can do there is put that on target and give it a little bit of welly. Like I said, Vigouroux got the faintest of touches but could only help it into the back of the net. It's a perfect start to the second half, and just to be honest with you, it's exactly what the game needed. It was crying out for a goal, and thankfully that's gone to the home side.
Casey for Swansea. Forward out to the left-hand side, Galbraith controls. Uses Burgess behind him. Down the line to Tyman, and Burgess gets the ball back inside to Galbraith. Goes back to Cabango, ball inside Coventry with a challenge. Galbraith under pressure, does well to go back to Casey, goes back to Vigouroux, clears it forward. Jones with the header. Doherty rises as well as it's headed away by Casey. Now Carey on the run for Charlton. Since in a second here as the ball forward to Bree, inside towards Leaburn, and a block from Casey prevents that going on target. Charlton started his second half superbly, getting a reaction out of Nathan Jones and Dave Lockwood.
Yeah, listen, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the spirit of Dave. That was an excellent ball from Carey on the inside shoulder. He waited and delayed that pass for the time in a Breeze run. The weight of the pass was inch perfect. The cut back to Leaburn was excellent, and all he can do is get contact and put it on target. He did that. It was an excellent block from Casey, the Swansea central defender, but it's a very, very good start from the home side.
Coventry, whose ball over the top managed to find Kelman, although via Casey's misinterception, as Coventry to Carey. Ramsey now playing that right side of centre half for this second half, across to Jones. Out to left to Gillespie, who goes long. Leeburn the target. Casey does well to win it, and Leeburn crashes into the back of the Swansea man. The referee did wait for a potential advantage and has brought it back for the Swansea free kick.
Yeah. I think if I was coming on this game now, particularly in the front areas, I'd try and anticipate. You know, there is opportunities in this game. If you can just find another 5-10% and anticipate and leave your man early, I think you will craft yourself an opportunity. And that goal has got Lecoverdin going, and it's not really been in good voice today because the game's not allowed it to be. You know, and it's fantastic. We've got a little bit of an atmosphere in here now.
Casey, ball short to Franco. Casey's there again, under pressure from Kelman. Across to Burgess.
That's what I mean. Do you see what I mean? If we're on the front foot a little bit more, and we can just pressurise and anticipate balls into players' feet a little bit quicker, or a bit of movement off the shoulder a little bit earlier, I think there's opportunities here.
Burgess, ball down the line, it's a decent looking one. Looking to get beyond Ramsey. Ramsey makes contact with the Swansea man, but no penalty. It's a bit awkward, but the referee felt there wasn't enough contact.
I think he thought that was going through to Kaminski, and he checked his run up and then realised Kaminski had stayed on his line and had to recover. And thankfully, he is a player that can recover. He does have the power and pace, but that's what I mean about when your brain's geared to being on the bench and you're introduced, it's not the easiest thing to do.
Eons, a lovely looking pass towards Ido. It's a little dink over the Charlton defence, and first time effort from Ido on the volley is over the bar, but a little bit of quality from Eon to pick him out. Difficult chance.
Yeah, Gillespie playing him on. Don't like the fact he was allowed to peel off the shoulder like that. I'd always leave the ball there if I was a centre half. I'd try and let the Ramsey or a central midfielder recover, and I'd concentrate on my man a little bit.
Kelman flicking it forward towards Bree. Nice touch towards Leeburn. Back to Bree. Good combination as Leeburn out to the right to Carey. Down the line to Bree. Bree, low ball in the box. Burgess clears and Charlton will have the throw. Good play.
Yeah. Good link up. Lovely little flick from Leeburn. And then gets it back and straight out wide to Carey, and the forward run from Bree. The runs he likes to make. He's whipped it across and it's cleared. But look, there are goals here, I think. I do think this is a game that you can take by the scruff of the neck and go and get 2 and 3 if you can elevate your game by another 5-10%.
Bree with the ball back to Coventry, looked forward towards Carey. That one was a little bit too much from Charlton. We've seen those two combine nicely in recent weeks.
Listen, you've got a wonderful opportunity there. You've got a lovely little 3v2, and we did move.
Eon picks it up. Goes on a run, uses Timon to left-hand side. Timon the ball in the box. Comes off of Bree. Swansea corner.
Yeah, just got to make sure we're diligent and how we attack this game. Certainly, scoring this early means you've got to stay switched on defensively for a long period of time. It's something that we've been very, very good at this season. But we've had a couple of defensive changes there, which may just make a difference to who picks up who.
Timon with the corner. That's it, Eon. Eon across to Galbraith, thinks about a shot, Galbraith, and does go for it, and it's over the bar. How many times have we said that today? Swansea shooting from range.
But again, the data analysts will tell you that that's a decent place to put your opposition, 27, 28 yards out centrally, as opposed to a set piece that comes in. You're normally quite happy for players to be taking a shot. I mean, that is 22, that is 27, 8 yards. It's going to have to be a hell of a strike to beat Kaminski from there.
Goal kick seconded on by Leeburn. Ball forward. Ramsey leaves it for Gillespie, heads it forward. Burgess header forward again. Jones this time comes back to try and deal as Ronald picks it up. Left-hand side of Eon. Taking on Ramsey. Looks for the cross towards the far post. Decent looking cross. Ido wins the header, but can't guide it towards goal.
Yeah, we're certainly not safe. I don't feel as confident today as I normally do about us defensively, and that's not because I'm taking anything away from us structurally. It just seems to be a game today that's got a little less intensity to it, and people just don't seem to be able to get as tight or make the blocks or make the challenges that we have been making in recent weeks. So I don't think this game's, by any stretch of the imagination, done. I'd love to see us go on and get a second, give us that little cushion. But Swansea, for my liking, are getting into attacking positions and being able to cross balls into the box and get shots away far easier than we normally allow teams to do.
Galbraith out to the right-hand side is Key. Key looking to take on Campbell. Ball in the box is dangerous looking one, and Ramsey takes no chances, heads it behind. Swansea definitely on the attack here.
Yeah, it's been a good response from the away side. I do think there are more opportunities coming our way as well. It's that kind of game today. But for the time being, we've got some more defending to do.
Timon, that left-hand side to take. Goes short again. Eom picks it up, whips it in with pace. Kelman this time with a header away. On the right-hand side now is Key. Ball in the box. Comes off. I think that was Cabango and picked up by Carey. Challenge comes in from Ronaldo. Looked like he fouled the Charlton captain. No free kick given as Franco, the ball in the box, hits Gillespie. Franco gets it back, leaves it for Ronaldo, who's crosses well, blocked by Gillespie, and Campbell trying to bring it away for Charlton. Shows good strength. And Tyrese Campbell just been fouled by Ronaldo. Brilliant from Campbell, who's done the hard work today for the Addicts.
Listen, it's a big free kick to win because we had a chance to clear our lines 25 seconds before that, and it allowed Swansea to maintain pressure with good bodies inside our penalty area. So Campbell showed great strength initially to do the upper body work and come out with the possession of the ball, and then took the contact and down he goes. And look what the difference that makes. Kaminski's coming out to take the free kick. The entire Charlton side have manoeuvred themselves into the Swansea half just to relieve pressure.
Kaminski with a long ball forward. Leeburn controls for Charlton as well to get his body across.
He looks up for it.
Goes on the outside of Burgess. Cuts back inside Leeburn. Lays it off for Ramsey. Coventry's inside. Coventry out to the right to Leeburn again. Leeburn, step over. Looking for a yard of space. Cross takes deflection. Comes down to Bree. Bree, the ball back into the penalty area. Is cut out by Franco. It's pulled onto Ida. Looked like he was pulled back by Lloyd. Jones wasn't given. And Charlton will play on.
Yeah, I thought it was a tad theatrical, I've got to be honest here.
Coventry the long ball forward, and well, come off the head of Cabango. Nope, goal kick's given.
It's a strange game, isn't it?
It's a very strange game. It is a very strange game. It's lacked any sort of intensity.
And yet you feel like both sides could conjure up a move that gets them a goal, because I think defensively both sides are a little bit loose. I think that's fair to say.
Ball forward towards Edo as well to get a flick on, and Kaminski's starting position was good to clear it away. Cabango with a header forward. Edo's been lively up top for Swansea. Coventry makes the challenge, comes back off of Edo, stays on his feet. Edo making a run forward. Campbell does well to get back for Charlton as ball's laid off to Key. Brilliant recovery defending from Charlton to get back, but Swansea still in possession. Galbraith. Key back to Cabango. Inside is Casey. Out to the left is Burgess. Burgess with the ball forward. Eom's there. Looks to take on Ramsey. Lays it off for Burgess. Continues his run. Ball in the box and comfortably gathered by Kaminski. Thought about rolling it out, but it wasn't.
There's not enough energy. Yeah, I don't think there's enough energy in the side for us to spring from defending across, for Kaminski to roll it out, and for us to have an opportunity to attack from deep. Just the energy's just not there. Nobody was really looking for that ball off Kaminski.
Gillespie out to left to Campbell. Out to Gillespie. Goes long into the Swansea half. Good control from Casey. Inside to Galbraith. Now Key. Falls back by Campbell. It's Cabango with the ball forward. Controlled by Coventry. Leeburn. Heavy first touch, but does well to hold off Galbraith, and Leeburn on the attack for Charlton. Out towards Carey, and maybe a little bit too obvious, and allowed Cabango to make the challenge. And now the Swansea captain will break. Out to the right to Ronald. Opportunity to take on Gillespie. Ronald goes on the outside. Good defending from Gillespie, but Swansea have the corner in the game that has been lacking a little bit of intensity end to end now.
Yeah, it's end to end because of a mistake, though. You know, we're in a good position there. Miles Lieberman does incredibly well strength-wise to get away from his man, and he's got time to pick a pass. He had many options there. I thought the ball out to Bree was probably the right one, but you can't give that ball away. That's what you can't do. And on that turnover, it's allowed them to breach our defence and win a corner.
Drizzle inside SC7 now. It was a nice afternoon earlier. Corner's taken. Decent looking delivery. Gillespie gets a touch to it, but comes out to Galbraith on the left-hand side for Swansea. He can go inside to Ronald. Goes down by Coventry. Ronald with the ball in the box. Gillespie's there again for Charlton. It's a great header. And Coventry will go on the attack, but Tyman's just a bit quicker than the Charlton man to win it. Swansea have it with Galbraith again. Forward is Franco. Eon back to Galbraith. Looks up, looks for movement. Gets it from Key. Key ball looking for Eda's loose, and Kaminski can come to gather.
Yeah, I just wonder if we're looking at the bench again. Maybe a laugh. Excuse me, maybe a Lafay coming on, strength, pace.
Kaminski with the ball forward. Kelman does well to get a touch to it. Lieburn turns, finds Carey. Back to Coventry. Out to this left-hand side is Tyrese Campbell. He's had a good game for Charlton. Now on the attack, taking on Key. Goes on the outside of Key. Thinks about a cross, instead cuts back Tyrese Campbell. Back to Coventry. All the way back to Gillespie. Gillespie with the lofted ball in towards Lieburn, headed away by Burgess. Comes down to Doherty, back towards Lieburn. Casey heads it up in the air. Kelman can't get there, still not properly cleared as Doherty towards Kelman. Kelman controls, tries to work over a yard of space, does well to win it back. Here's Campbell for Charlton. Opportunity to take on Key again. Goes on the outside, left-footed cross, takes the deflection. Couldn't quite find Carey, but here's Ramsey for Charlton. Inside to Coventry, goes back to Ramsey. Doxey picks up a good bit of space, but Ramsey can't quite find him. Goes back to Coventry instead. Coventry with time on the ball, not a lot of movement, so patiently exchanges passes with Ramsey. Halfway inside the Swansea half as Coventry drifts inside. Ramsey to the right-hand side again as Swansea just trying to organise themselves defensively. The Addicts all the way back to Lloyd Jones in the centre circle. Up to left to Gillespie, who's got Coventry inside. Coventry looks for the ball over the top towards Ramsey. It's a good run. Ramsey does well to win the ball, but it goes backwards, and Galbraith looks to bring it away for Swansea. Neat little ball inside to Franco. Franco turns. Left is Burgess, and now it's Swansea's turn to try and test the Charlton defence. Timon inside to Franco. Now Galbraith. Casey up to Cabango. Further right to Key. Key shown inside by Campbell. Will go on a run, Key. Finds Eon. Drifted inside. Brings Bree with him. Out to the right to Ronald. And Franco to Ronald once more. Swansea just taking an extra pass, which is allowing Charlton to get back, but still they build as Burgess. Timon inside to Eon. Back to Galbraith. Key on the right-hand side. Gillespie comes across, but Key goes down the line to Ronald. Side to Key. Back to Cabango. Boost from the away end as Swansea go backwards with the ball. Heavy drizzle now. Comes down as Casey looks towards Ida. Ida, good first control. And Ida with the shot. It's a brilliant strike. And Swansea's patient possession pays off as Adam Ida gets the equaliser.
Yeah, and suggested that may be the case today. I don't think we got within 2 yards of the ball at any stage in that build-up play. It was all about defending space and not actually any player committing to a challenge to try and affect the pathway of the football itself, culminating with a half attempt to block it on the edge of our box. And yeah, I think you'll see a manager that's extremely disappointed, and he can rewind this goal about a minute if he wants, and he'll question quite a few things in the build-up to that. But it's synonymous of the game. The game has been played out in this manner.
Yeah, it was a first touch that just allowed a bit of space and perfect placement off the inside of the post. Nothing Kaminski could do about that.
No, I wouldn't level it at the goalkeeper. I think we can do far more as a defence to affect the ball, and I think we could actually lay down in front of that shot if we wanted to. But it's not been there today, for whatever reason, from either side.
Sorry, Brian, as I say, Swansea made a double substitution in that. So they were looking to make the change even before the goal. Yeah. They've made two. Eom and Ronaldo off for Melker, Wendell, Zidane, Inuesa.
Did say it just didn't feel like that kind of game that 1-0 was enough. It just didn't, you know. And it's again, you can listen in and say, oh, that's a bit critical. It's not. You just get a sense. You watch it and you get a feel, and you think that, you know, there is an opportunity here for both sides to go and get another goal because of the way that the teams have played this out defensively.
Key for Swansea looks to bring the ball forward and pokes it beyond Coventry. Then Carey, as Wendell, the substitute, brings it forward. Out to left is Burgess. Further left is Tyman. Inside to Wendell, opens his body up. Holds it off from Ramsey. Out to the right to Key. Inuesa on the ball now. Looks at the 1-2 with Wendell. Gets it back. Inuesa, ball in the box. Cut out by Jones. Swansea are the team with momentum. And Nathan Jones might need to look to his bench to galvanise the side.
I mean, he probably can't quite understand, you know, after taking the lead in the first minute of this second half, how we've sort of dropped away from. He thought we'd have energised the team and got us on the front foot, and Swansea did look defeated. I've already mentioned, they're not brilliant at scoring too many goals. Their lead scorer's missing. And they didn't look like they had too many opportunities in them, but it was the passiveness of Charlton. It's not something we've been used to this season. They've been on the front foot, they've been excellent, they've made blocks, headers, challenges, they defended their penalty box superbly well. But for whatever reason today, we've just stepped off of that. Never felt like one was enough.
Jones out to the right to Ramsey, back inside to Coventry. Coventry across to Gillespie and back to Jones. Jones out to the right to Ramsey. Down the line looking for Bree. Tyman's the first to it. And down now inside to Ida. Ball back. Finds Galbraith. Takes it past Carey. Galbraith out to the left-hand side. As Wendell cuts inside. Right-footed ball. Hits Jones. Here comes down Ramsey. Trying to deal with it. It's a cross and goal kick Charlton, and after 67.5 minutes, time to hand you over to Terry Smith to lead commentate for the rest of the second half.
Yeah, well, we've got to find a way to wrestle our way back into this one. For the time being, Swansea are on top. And Charlton look like they are sucking in the air, breathing really heavily. A lot of them gingerly walking back towards the halfway line, allowing Kaminski to take this goal kick. But before we do that, there'll be a substitution or two.
Yeah. Cheers, Greg. It's Charlie Kelman coming off and Al Hernandez coming on. If that means Hernandez will go left or not, we shall see. Just bringing some instructions onto the pitch. He's drifting across to the right side straight away. We'll see how that pans out. Looks like it might be just joining Liban up top. As Kaminski's goal kick goes beyond Liban and it will run through to Vigouroux. Rolls it out to Key. Ball through the middle, and there's a run through that middle with Franco, and it's good defending by Doherty to track him all the way. And gets his clearance off the. Well, I thought it was off the Swansea man, not according to the official on this right-hand side. It's going to be a Swansea throw. Quickly taken into the feet of Galbraith. And Kaminski's gone down. And maybe some readjusting about to take place for Charlton.
Yeah, I think that's a consequence of the substitution. I think Hernandez has gone out into that right wing back or right forward spot, if you like. So if you imagine where Campbell plays on the left off of Kelman, I think Hernandez has gone out on the right in that role, but on the right, because Tyrese Campbell stayed at left wing back, Breeze stayed at right wing back, Lee Burn's central focus down the middle, and I think Hernandez is playing off of Lee Burn in a right forward area, yeah, instead of it being Campbell on the left forward area. So I don't know if that's something that the staff have seen in Swansea's makeup that they want stopped, or if they feel that Hernandez will get the better of their left sider rather than their right sider. We'll have to wait and see. But I think this timely goalkeeper injury has allowed Nathan Jones to get his men in, and he's deep in conversation with the entire team. I still think there's 20 minutes plus add-ons. You know, is more than enough time for this team to grasp and wrestle back control of the game and go and get a second. But I was never confident 1-0 was enough today. It was just the manner of the performance. But there is still a great opportunity for the home side to go and find a winner.
Excuse me. Yes. I mean, I can probably say that about every championship game we've had so far. No side has really, yes, once we've got the second and third, it's a different case. But 1-0, we don't every team so far in this division is capable of coming back at you. And Swansea have proved that this afternoon.
Yeah, I think we've always had a spell in the game. If you think about the Blackburn game, where for half an hour, 25 minutes, it was really even. And then we made a substitution, scored a goal. And when we scored the goal, we went on. Now we've come out, we broke the back of the net, and I think we've just sat back. And I don't think we've conceded as passive a goal this season as we did just moments ago against this Swansea side, which would be disappointing for the manager.
Ramsey does well to win the ball back from the Swansea throw, and now Charlton have it with Jones in the central position. In the defensive third, inside to Coventry from Bree, gets it back and finds Jones again. Looking forward.
Okay, looks like he's gone in. No, I think he's gone into a back four. I think he's gone into a back four.
There's a challenge coming in there from Doherty, and he's caught Franco, I think it is, on the back of the head. So the clash of heads here, which will just halt proceedings. I don't know if the referee's given a foul against Doherty or not. I haven't quite seen it, but a decision, or is this just a case of both players are. Well, Franco's down on the floor rubbing his head, and Doherty, built of stronger stuff, is just on his feet rubbing his head. Franco now up on his feet. And, I think the referee has given a free kick to Swansea. Yeah, Doherty just a little bit late in the challenge and the clash of heads as a result. Shaking hands, no harm done other than a headache. Swansea have a free kick. 5 or 6 yards inside the Charlton half on the left. Still waiting for it to be taken. It's now sent towards the Charlton penalty area. Leeburn will rise and head it away. Galbraith will come to this near side to collect it and send the ball back towards the Charlton penalty area. Hernandez battling over there. Ball's come back across, and Leeburn with an important header, and then surely was taken out after that. No, the referee says no. And we play on with Swansea in possession in their own half. Key, ball forward to Casey. Across to Galbraith. Looking forward, but instead goes right to Key once more. It's been forced back by Campbell to Cabango. And the in-turn goes back to his keeper, Vigouroux. Out now to Casey once more. Further left is Burgess. Ball back inside to Franco. Looking to sweep it across here to Key. He's in space on this right-hand side. Takes it in his stride. Ball attempted cross cut out by Ramsey. Be a throw into Swansea near the right-hand corner flag. Now the way Swansea are heading towards the box at the moment, it looks like a long throw, but that could change. And he's just winding up now, Key, so you'd imagine this will be launched into the box. Now Galbraith looks to come short. Does, goes back to Key. Galbraith once more, swinging into the penalty area. Header coming in, and I think that may well have been a Charlton head that Kaminski had to save. We'll need to see that on the replay. Charlton survived momentarily and then cleared away by Coventry. Was it Bree who got the last touch? Just trying. Was it Leeburn maybe?
I think it's Leeburn.
Was it?
Yeah.
It did look like a Charlton shirt was the last one to make contact as Swansea send it towards the Charlton penalty area once more. Bree with a header up in the air. It's going to hold up play for Inusa. Ball across, cut out, but at the expense of another corner.
Yeah. And the game's just drifting away from the home side. And I think the lack of noise and movement in the cover then will give you a clue that they're not quite understanding how this game has gone from 1-0 in the early moments to 1-1 and defending for your lives.
It's corner to Swansea in front of the scoreboard. Ball comes in, flicked on and then cleared away momentarily at least. But now Therese Campbell will try and get it further forward. Doherty across, sliding challenge coming in from Inusa, puts it out of play for a Charlton throw. Coventry just leaving it to Ramsey on this left-hand side. 10 yards inside the Charlton half. 20,405 inside the Valley. Another 20,000 plus crowd as Charlton go down the line, headed clear. Vidal keeps it in. Charlton players thought that was out and needs Gillespie to scamper back to tidy up on the ball inside to Kaminski's not the best, but Kaminski makes the best of it, clears it away, but Casey will head it back towards the Charlton half. Doherty in the way, up to Leeburn, try to flick it inside, manages to get it to Carey. On a little run now, Sonny Carey holding the ball up, and then surely he was pulled back there by Galbraith, and the referee concurs it'll be a free kick to Charlton.
Yeah, he's done very well there. Drove into a bit of trouble, was put under pressure, and again that's using your body, taking a little bit of contact and making the most of it, and it just relieves pressure and gives Charlton an opportunity to maybe put this Swansea back line under a bit of pressure inside its own penalty area.
Well, it's a very central position, this free kick. So again, well, Charlton look to create an angle.
Well, the way he's getting the ball ready on the surface.
Strike?
Yeah, that would suggest he's had enough and fancies a pop.
Well, as I say, it's about 10 yards outside the D of the penalty area in a very central position. Bree, the only man over this at the minute. There's nobody wide at this juncture to suggest there'll be a different angle coming in.
I think he was looking for the valve. I really do. The way he was circling that ball and spinning it on the spot, he was looking for a precise position. I mean, it's going to have to be a hell of a strike to beat Vigouroux from this distance, but if there's one man that's got the accuracy, it's certainly Bree.
Well, the referee's blown his whistle. Bree steps up and does take the shots, but I don't think it was on target, and it certainly didn't trouble Vigouroux, who claims it. Carey trying to prevent him releasing, but he gets it out left to Burgess. We'll bring it forward. Burgess got runners further to the left, and Hernandez does superbly well to cover that off, I have to say. There's a run going down there left by Timon, and Hernandez matched him, not more than matched him stride for stride, and just ushered the ball out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, I mean, they were level when that ball was played through, and Timon was nowhere near it. I just wonder if that was the reason for Hernandez going over there.
Well, we know he has that pace. Can we utilise it in the remaining 12 minutes of normal time as Kaminski prepares to take this goal kick, sends it forward. Leeburn the target, or jump, gets a flick on as well, and it's judged has fouled Cabango in the process. Lots of quizzical looks to the referee. Free kick is given. Quickly taken. Galbraith out to the left and Burgess. Timon further left. Inusa goes on a run. Timon just holds it and goes back to Burgess. Inside to Galbraith once more. He had to stretch, but he collects it. Now across to Cabango. Out to his right-hand side is Key. Well, Campbell stepped in. Charlton fans saying that ball was out. Referee's playing on, and Carey with a strong challenge wins the ball back for Charlton and drilled away from Gillespie towards Leeburn, but he just couldn't get it in his stride, and it allowed Casey to get the ball back to Vigouroux. Cabango inside to Galbraith. Normally we'd be able to offer an opinion on whether that ball's out of play, but we've got no chance. Oh, a good foot in from Lieben. He almost managed to pick the pass off of Galbraith, but Casey on hand to pick it up. Inside to Cabango. Out to the right is Key. Campbell in his way, goes back inside therefore. Inside to first Franco, and now Cabango once more. Ball forward up towards Ida. Ida turns. Coventry pursuing. Ball out to Franco. Franco trying to send Key on his way. Campbell slides in, doesn't make it. Ball across, headed away by Bree, only as far as Timon. It's a good challenge coming in there from Hernandez, and an important one as well, but it's out for a Swansea City throw. Back to Burgess. Burgess switches it across to Camango. Out here to the right-hand side is Key. They're looking to take on Campbell, holds him up, goes back inside to Franco. Cabango once more. And now Franco again. Halfway inside the Charlton half, being forced backwards to Casey in the centre circle. Out right again to Cabango. Cabango, Key to his right. Little ball inside to Vidal, but that's good work from Salikeri to win it back again, and then he's taken out. Although not according to the referee. Oh, now it is. Referee wasn't going to give anything. It must have been the fourth official or the assistant gave that, because the referee initially shook his head, and it was almost like it wasn't until the two Swansea coaching staff came up out on their feet that the referee decided, OK, it is a free kick.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure it was, but the reaction of their player suggests it absolutely was, because he kind of was resigned to the fact that it was a free kick, and he patted Sonny Kerry on the back as if to apologise, but...
Yeah, there wasn't a lot in it, I've got to
no,
say.
It was the faintest of touches, but it was
okay.
enough, yeah.
Free kick taken by Kaminsky. Jones can't get there. It's gone beyond him, and Doherty battling, but he can't get the ball either, and it's worked out to Waddell, who levers it forward. It's a foot race for Ramsey, who will get there first. Oh, and he's given it straight to Anusa. Anusa heading towards the penalty area, out to Vidal. It comes off of Ramsey as he crosses it, and the clearance then out to Hernandez, who's fouled in the process of trying to get to the ball, and Charlton have a pressure relieving free kick brought about by our own past misjudgment.
Yeah, there's some strange decisions today, you know, and again it's so easy sat here, and I've been in a body that doesn't want to do what it's told brain-wise.
Welcome, Marwell.
Well, when you're in the middle of a physical battle as well, in front of 20,000 people, it's not easy, and it's just one of those games that we're battling through here. We're making some awful decisions. We're getting caught in some awful positions.
Swansea have won the ball back as well from the free kick, but Charlton block it away for the throw-in. There's a double substitution from the Alex coming, but in the meantime, Swansea have possession. Cabango brings it forward over halfway, out to Key on the right. Brings it inside. Key looking for runners, and immediately available. Across to Galbraith in the centre. Galbraith goes back the other way, lifts the ball into the box, and Ramsey was confident that Anusa couldn't get there. It goes away for a goal kick. I'm not sure the rest of us were that confident, but double change, and we can see Alafe is one of them. It looks like Nibs is the other. Will it be made before the goal kick? I think probably. And the first to make way is Tyrese Campbell.
Tyrese Campbell, replacing him with his welcome 22, Tento Alafe.
Is that the skipper Doherty coming off? Because he's just taken the armband off. Yep, he's taken the armband off, passing it to Jones. So Greg Doherty, the second change.
And also appreciation to number 10, Greg Doherty, replacing Greg. Please welcome 41, Harvey Nibs.
Harvey Nibs is on for the last 6.5 minutes of normal time. Kaminsky prepares to take this goal kick. Everybody assembling to the right side of the pitch as Lieben gets something on it and then gets the second ball as well, but a swiped clearance. Ramsey though picks it up for Charlton, sends it long. Burgess struggling to deal with it, heads it wide. Hernandez will get there on the right hand corner. Hernandez turns, looks to take his man on, instead goes backwards to Bree into the box, cleared away by Burgess as Lieben goes to ground. Gillespie, the first to react, heads it forward. Coventry will pick up the bouncing ball, and it's a lovely ball round the back. Can Hernandez get there? Oh, just out of it is Vigouroux, just in time before Hernandez can get there.
Yeah, he does very well. The Swansea goalkeeper reacts nice and quickly, sharp off his line, because Hernandez was in behind, was going to get there first. It's a timely interception from the Swansea keeper.
Cabango out to Key on the right-hand side again. Charlton felt it was out, but the Addicts have it back between Lieben and Alafe. It's worked back to Ramsey. Carey being pressured by Vidal, forced backwards. Gets it inside to Jones. And Franco's gone down. I didn't see what it was. So the referee has given, or had he given anything, I'm not sure. But Franco's gone down. I didn't see what it was.
I think he's given a free kick to Swansea for this, and it's all on Franco. I mean, I hope we get to see I mean, he does look in some discomfort. I'm not saying he's not taken some contact, but it certainly wasn't because of a challenge made. Not that I could see anyway.
I can't actually tell what the referee's going to do afterwards. He's smiling and talking to Charlton players.
Yeah, so as Ramsey plays the ball off, he accelerates to offer another angle, and then his knee hits Franco's knee. So it's certainly not a free kick, that's for sure. I've got a horrible feeling he gave a free kick to Swansea for that. He whistled.
Well, again, it was very late. So
yeah,
I'm assuming it was a decision that came from elsewhere.
Absolutely not a free kick. It's just unfortunate circumstances. It's as a football player, you've got to give and go. So Ramsey releases, he accelerates away.
I think he's pointing to that he's going to drop the ball back to us in the right-hand corner, because that's where the ball was.
That's absolutely what it should be.
But you're right, Franco's in a little bit of discomfort.
Yeah, listen, when you're not expecting it and someone else's knee hits
he's not happy,
your knee.
so I think we are getting it back.
Listen, it's not.
Change coming in for Swansea, and actually they are taking Franco off, not taking any risks. Swansea, and Franco is off, and coming on in his place is Fulton.
Where's he going with the ball?
He's going to drop it in the corner where we have possession, I think.
Excellent.
Not quite the corner, but on the right-hand side.
One of those days, isn't it? Switched off.
And the referee duly drops it to the feet of Jones, across to Gillespie. We restart. Gillespie swings it forward. Mendes challenging, can't get there. Carey gets to the second ball, doesn't quite get to the third, but Coventry does. Into Alafe, little touch past his man, but a little too heavy, and allowed Cabango to clear it away, but it'll be a Charlton throw. Can the Addicts and the Valley faithful get behind the side to just stir up the side in the final minutes? Ramsey with the throw down the line, looking for Lieben. It's a touch inside, takes a deflection, cleared away by Casey. Jones up against Ida, and both fall to the floor. Gillespie gets his head down, and then surely that's a foul from Jones by Inusa. It is. He just barged into Lloyd Jones, who's just been spoken to by Vidal, and Jones not happy with that. And if I was Vidal, I'd keep quiet if I was a tad of a mismatch.
Well,
now Lloyd Jones drifts forward as Kaminski comes forward to take this free kick. 12 yards or so inside the Charlton half, just left of centre. Kaminski with it, sends it forward. Lieben trying to get there, headed sideways by Casey, picked up by Alafe, just on the edge of the penalty area. Tanto Alafe, and he just allowed a clearance, but drops to Carey, who takes a shot. Oh, and it was a stinger that Vigouroux just was able to hold on at the second attempt.
Yeah, well, we've seen him score from a similar area with a very powerful shot some weeks ago. He connects wonderfully with it, but it's straight down Vigouroux's throat, and it's a comfortable save for the keeper, but decent attempt from Carey.
Burgess brings it away for Swansea. It's inside to Galbraith. Fulton back to Casey. It's Fulton again. Casey once more. Halfway inside the Swansea half, goes back to his keeper, Vigouroux, as we wait to see how many minutes will be added on here. Getting towards the final one as Key gets there before Ramsey and heads it on to Vidal on the right-hand side. Cross ball comes in. Well, it's Jones with something on it, but the ball's in and around the 6-yard box, and then Coventry's clearance has come off a Swansea man. There's a claims for handball in there as well.
I think there's a
And it's away
decent
for a goal
shout.
kick.
Yeah, I think there's a decent shout for it. I'm not saying it is or isn't, but Jones went to ground and he rolled over the ball, and there was a moment where it looked like his arm just dragged across the football and brought it with him. You'd have to see a very good replay for it. There's a good replay coming now, but it's a wicked ball. Again, it's a Ramsey error down that left-hand side. You'd be eagle-eyed to see that. Yeah, you can't give that.
Be 6 minutes of added time here at the Valley. Kaminski's goal kick sent forward. Liban can't get there. Burgess will clear it forward. Ramsey will touch it into his own path. He's under pressure from Eder, but he does well to cut inside to find Gillespie. Back to Kaminski. He's got Jones to his right. Jones up to Bree as the rain falls again here in South London. Coventry trying to find Nibbs, cut out by Galbraith. Nibbs gets a touch on it though, and can Hernandez get there? Oh, he's just beaten to it by Burgess. And Swansea have it back. Galbraith coming forward. Hernandez chasing him back. Out to Twyman, who gets the cross off of Bree, and it's away for a corner to Swansea in front of the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, we've got an incredible home record to protect here, with the one loss against Leicester in something like 20, I don't know what the time frame is, but we didn't deserve that loss either. But we are hanging on somewhat.
Twyman will take the corner. Swung out. Nobody really reacted. It's come all the way to Galbraith, who hits a shot against the floor, and it drops in the box, and then inexplicably Key thunders it over the bar from the edge of the 6-yard box.
Yeah, it's easier to miss than score. The initial shot bounces into the ground, takes a deflection and falls at the feet of Josh Key, and from 7 yards out he should blast it into the back of the net, and he blasts it into the Jimmy Seed stand.
Well, the camera's just gone into the Swansea end, and there are a collection of heading hands and mouths wide open.
Should have been the winner.
The fact that he missed that, my word, how did he not score there? Charlton survive in the first minute of added time. Kaminski with the goal kick. Leeburn trying to get there, but Cabango gets there first. His header is intercepted by Gillespie when he probably could have let it run in. Coventry takes a touch. It runs to Eder, back in possession, edge of the penalty area. Little lifted ball across, and there's nobody there. The thing with Eder, when he does something just basic like shooting, he looks quite a potent forward. When he stops and tries to think of something just a little bit different to do, it tends to go horribly wrong, as it did there. And the ball's with Kaminski. Sends it away. Straight to Burgess. Heads it forward. And Jones allowing that to bounce because Eder would have been miles offside. Allows it to go through to Kaminski with the help of a header. And Kaminski sends it forward once more. This one's a little bit better directed. And Leeburn, surely he was pulled down. How can you not give that? That's outrageous. That is quite unbelievable, in fact.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of incredible decisions from referees this year, and that's up there with them.
Swansea send it forward. Gillespie tussling with Eder, and he gets the ball away. And now the referee gives a sympathy free kick for Charlton on the edge of our own penalty area.
Yeah, it's a nonsense, really, if truth be told, because that is as blatant as a free kick as you'll see on Miles Leeburn, and it should have seen us putting the ball into a dangerous area inside their penalty box. Instead, we got a free kick 8 yards from the edge of our penalty box. He's been all right, the referee, today, but that's particularly poor.
Free kick to Charlton, just outside the D of the penalty area. Kaminski with it. Sends it forward. Again, Leeburn the target. Again, his shirt being pulled off him by Cabango this time. Drops to... and there's a foul. Dropped to Fulton. It was nudged out of the way, I think, by Nibbs. And then Leeburn still in a tussle with Fulton. The referee, partially of his own making, lost a bit of control here. Referee talking at length to Leeburn, who I'm sure has told him what he thought, especially of that non-foul. As Vigouroux prepares to take the free kick for Swansea, sends it forward. Jones heads it away. Fulton with the header back. Ramsey thought about letting it go. Can't. It's not going to reach, so he gets his clearance away. Alafe trying to get there. Can't, but he might have a second attempt. Fortuitously ran through to Galbraith, who's gone right to Fulton. Little touch from Galbraith again. Vidal with the cross, cleared away. Might have been a foul on Vidal there as well. Leven does really well to win it for Charlton. Carey, oh, that's a sliding tackle that's taken him out by Fulton. Ramsey does well to win it back for Charlton. Trying to send Nibs on his way. Casey comes across to try and usher it out and lets it go. And again, the referee is losing the plot here a little bit because challenges are flying in and he's not getting the grips with it.
No, 2 free kicks out, one for Swansea, one for us. Missed them both. He's had an all right game, but he's just
the last few minutes he's lost it.
The last 5 minutes he's had an absolute stinker.
Throw into Swansea. Headed back by Ramsey. Key heads it forward up to Ida. Ida just got pulled by Gillespie. That won't do. I don't think Swansea will be too chuffed with that because they were progressing down the left-hand side. Free kick. 12, 15 yards or so inside the Charlton half. Inside the Swansea half, rather. Just right of centre. Vigouroux comes out of his penalty area to take it. We're in the last 35 seconds of the game. Well, of added time at least. There may be added time to added time because of the free kicks. We'll see as Vigouroux sends it forward. Jones will look to get there, gets his head there as well. Go up to Galbraith, who sends it back into the penalty area. Gillespie trying to get there as well. I think that was the last touch off Casey. Coventry with the clearance. Alafe can't get there. It will run through to Key. Goes back to his keeper. Nibs will give chase. Vigouroux sends it left. And he's skied that a bit. And it's out for a Charlton throw. Can the Addicts create one more chance? Down the line, Hernandez. Control by Lebo. Still in the... Out to Bree. Bree. Ball into the box. Deep one. Alafe looking for it. Vigouroux comes to claim. And that is the final whistle. It's ended all square here at the Valley. Stalemate at half-time was broken. First minute of the second half when Kelman pounced in the box and shot into the roof of the net to give Charlton the lead. And it was Adam Ida who brought the scores back level on 64 minutes with a turn and shot from the edge of the Charlton box. And it's a game that Brownie will admit, and I'm sure he'll tell you now, never really exploded into life. It was a game that was there for the taking. Neither side could manage it, and it's ended all square here at the Valley.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the big chances in the game, I think we had a header early on that was tipped over by Vigouroux, and they've had a massive opportunity and added on time with Josh Hughes blasted over from close range. A lot of huffing and puffing in a game that lacked quality. And it looked like two sides, lacking energy, if truth be told. Swansea have had that midweek game. Charlton haven't got that excuse, but I wonder how much got taken out of the team with that night up at Ipswich in the victory. We don't seem to have recovered back to the levels of that game or previous games leading up to Ipswich. The whole we were a bit flat, and today we're a bit flat. We will regain that energy, we will regain that tempo, but for now, if you just take their equaliser as a proximity of where the energy levels are, they had that ball for a good 60 seconds, maybe longer, and we didn't lay a glove on them. And this Charlton side just doesn't do that. This, Nathan Jones teams just don't play that way. And to allow Swansea to keep the ball for that long, which culminated in a shot from the edge of the box with players around it who could have pressurised, in my opinion, who could have made a block, sort of sums up the match. But it's a point gained in what would have been another tough game for the players in terms of, we weren't up to the levels that we've previously hit, but for them and their energy levels, they're probably hitting the maximum they can give, because I think the season's starting to take its toll, and sadly they're not going to have enough time to recover, because you've got another one Tuesday against another good side who come to the Valley, and they'll need to find perhaps a little bit more in terms of quality when West Brom come to town.
Yeah, indeed. Just to give you an indication, the Charlton team have gone round in front of the Kirbyshe stand, now go in front of the covered end and across to the west, just taking the applause, and Charlton fans have stayed back to receive and give applause back. And as you say, it's a point. Remain undefeated, but it's another game where we get a point towards ultimate target, but not the victory that we perhaps wanted. But as Brownie said, we're back here on Tuesday night. We take on West Bromwich Albion on the 7:45 kickoff. If you are able to join us, we look forward to your company on Tuesday. In the meantime, my thanks to Deanna back in production. My thanks to Stevie Brown to my right, and of course Greg Stubley to my right also. Thanks, gentlemen. Been a pleasure as always. And take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and see you back here on Tuesday. Good night, everyone.